Yes, hello, good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you fine. Good morning.
Okay. Have you started the live?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, good evening. Sorry, good morning.
Yeah, go on, everyone.
Good morning, Nafi. Thanks for having me.
Hafiz, good morning. How are you doing?
How's
Fine boy, Hafiz.
Okay, let's wait for about 4 minutes now. Then we'll start properly. Okay,
okay?
thank you.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Emeka.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Williams, Ebola, Abodu, oh, that's Hafiz. Ovie, good morning. How are you guys doing? So,
Good morning.
yeah, let's just give it like
Good morning.
3 more minutes and then keep it.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's just start anyway. I'm glad to join us along the way. So, happy to have you guys here. Welcome. I'm very sure it has been how many weeks now? About 9 weeks that you guys have been learning and teaching and all of that. And today kind of marks the end of that journey. I don't know how you guys are feeling right now, but if it was me, I would feel really excited because you know. I would have learned a lot of things and all of that. The progress that you guys have made is kind of remarkable and all of that. So today we're just going to try to celebrate you guys as much as we can. Call on a few speakers to give you pointers on what you should do next and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you have a nice time. And after the boot camp, I would like to see you guys flourish in whatever track of food that you're taking. So without wasting your time, let me just call on ACL to give a welcome address to everyone. Um, yeah, while he's doing that, so you guys can, open your camera. Let's see your faces and all of that. I'm just trying to get comfortable. So yourself, please.
Okay, hello everyone, good morning. At any point you can hear me, just let me know in case my mic messes up. Yeah, so good morning once again and welcome to this call, our graduation party. Just gonna give a quick talk speech about everything and our being here today. So yeah, you're all welcome and today is a special day. But not only are we celebrating completing the boot camp, also celebrating like your hard work and your growth and determination to getting to this point. Like Ademiral said, it has been 9 weeks now, at least since we started officially. I know that many of us like we barely knew what we were doing when we started, but I feel that like you can comfortably build something on your own and even learn more and take on projects from what you've learned so far. So I would just like to take a moment to recognize um your hard work, your countless hours you spent learning new concepts, practicing, debugging, for the words that wrote code and then what not. Because it's not really task because why Nigeria there's issues with light and whatnot. Yeah, so well done on getting to this point. And also not forgetting our tutors, who guided us, you guys and encouraged you at every step of the way. Because okay, looking back, the bootcamp has been a whole lot, despite it being virtual. That's from day zero. Yeah. So starting with even getting tutors, because it's hard to get people who are skilled in that craft to come and teach for free. I do that for 2 months consistently. Because on a good day, like these people are they have free jobs waiting for them, but they choose to be here to empower you guys with skills to make a living and do well in the tech space. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy for them because I promise it wasn't easy. Quite a couple of stumbling blocks. Like for example, now we almost didn't even see the UI UX track because getting someone to help one it was tasking. So I'm happy for sure that we got and I'm happy for the job that they have done. Now to the bootcamp proper, we kicked off officially on the 27th of August, which was a Tuesday. So we had the onboarding call, then classes commenced after. So week after week, the classes, getting guest to join technical issues, getting the recordings out on time so that we can prepare for the next class, assignments, our weekly games night, so it's always fun. Then I put out our student of the week, every week. So honestly at the time, like, it was no fun for me because of how one things would go. So it was always tense, at every step. And at some point, I asked myself that why did I even bother at all? That I could have just been somewhere chilling, watching Netflix the whole day, just learning other thing, making more money, something like that. But when at the middle of the whole boot camp, I think about week four, yeah, at the end of week four, when we were having some issue and trying to get to the root of the matter, so I was looking at students privately and that's when I got my answer. So I think a few people mentioned that they were sorry for the issues, with attendance, but at the end of the four, like you see that they had learned the ropes and like 4 weeks before they joined, like they had no idea what they were doing. So like then maybe so that they were happy to them they want and they thought to finish. And that convinced me that okay, yeah, what we're doing has measurable and visible impact on people's lives. So that is what gives me the what convinced me to finish up no matter what. Yeah. Then beyond the technical skills that you have learned so far from the bootcamp, one soft skill I always emphasize on is communication, timely communication. Yeah, since day one, from the boarding call, even from when you join the group chat. So I just go right again, communicate whether it's good or bad news. If something happens, let someone know because it it helps to put you apart from the rest. It's very important. So okay, let me give an example. Think about 2 weeks back, at work. So something came up on a Monday evening. Tuesday morning, like I just couldn't work that day. So I reached out to my team. I said, hey, please, I have an emergency, this and that. Then I explained, I put in the full stand up. Like, was able to make room for me. Then even outside that, when you work with people, if I give you a task, say, okay, I'm working on it. When you're done with it, don't wait for them to get back to you. Give feedback, timely feedback. So even if you are not so skilled, even if you're that intern, you make mistakes surely, but if you're good at communicating, it will help you. So that even if you make mistakes, those above you can help you to fix it in a timely fashion. So that's what I always emphasize on. Always communicate so. So yeah, so among whatever skills you learned so far from without backend, front end, cloud computing, cloud security, whatever skill you learned, always communicate well, is very important. So I think that's where I'll stop for now. So thank you for listening. And remember, this is just the beginning. So there's more to be done, there's more work, there's more to learn, there's more to practice. So always take serious in the tech space. Keep challenging yourself. And that like every step you take from here on, you for everything that you've learned from during the bootcamp. Yeah, thank you and congratulations once again.
All right, then. Thank you, Asa, for that wonderful speech. Yeah, I kind of like picked a couple of things from what you said, especially the communication aspect. I know that this guy that is always after communication, whether or not I get stress or something, just communicate. And I think you have a point where you said it makes you stand out, right? Because you know it just helps really, and it's not just in the working environment, basically everywhere. So I think you guys should pick that. If you're not picking anything, just pick that one at the very least, right? And at the end of his speech, he said something about, he said, beyond the technical skills that you guys learned, there is more, right? So you guys should always try to look for more. And that is one of the reasons why we actually have this boot camp. I mean, this graduation ceremony going on, and why we call some of these speakers, right? So one of the speakers is here right now, and I'm going to introduce him to you. He's going to be speaking on the topic we gave him basically is after graduation, right? Or you are done, what's next? So basically, after this whole boot camp, this 9 weeks you've learned, what everything you've learned, right? What next? What are you supposed to do next, right? So you guys should just give a round of applause as I'm introducing Afis Olalekan. Afis is an experienced software engineer and web penetration tester with a demonstrated history of working in the retail, real estate, and finance industry. He is skilled in search engine optimization, jQuery, backend web development, TypeScript, and networking. He has he is a strong engineering professional with a Bachelor of Science from the University of Iran. So you guys should make some noise. Unmute your mics and make some noise, please. Come on, yeah, I can see someone reacting. That's the
Come on,
spirit.
please.
All right. So, please welcome.
He's
It's
a
so
big
nice to
man,
have
man.
you
He's a
here.
big man.
Big man, seriously fresh.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Adimola. So, good morning, everyone. So, I am Hafiz, Abudan Hafiz, as mentioned by Adimola. So, I currently am the head of development at Sukati Visible Limited, which is a financial institution registered in the UK, aiding diaspora remittance to Africa. So, and I want to also congratulate you guys on the work you've done on attending this bootcamp to the end. So yes, part of what I kind of asked to talk about on this call today is how to leverage your new skill in the real world. So basically, you actually learned a couple of things, and how are you going to go about leveraging those new skills in the real world? The first thing you could do is to ensure you assess and align with the industry needs. So let's take, for instance, you learned front-end development, and during the bootcamp, probably the bootcamp, due to time taken on the bootcamp, you were taught maybe HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a couple of other things, maybe little React. So what you could now do is, okay, try to assess what is the requirement of the industry. Do a couple of Google search, look at what the industries are actually asking about, do a couple of requirement review on the internet to see what is kind of needed from you if you were to kind of either get a job or perhaps work under a company. So try to assess, okay, this is currently what I know. Then each time I do a search on the internet, I discover they used to ask about this, and this. They used to talk about Jira. They used to talk about a couple of other tools that I have not been exposed to. Try to see how you can know where you are versus where you should be in order to make you kind of qualified for the real world. So then another thing you could do is to also get certified if applicable. So try to get certification if you can. It's very, very good. It's going to give you a great edge. So back in the days when we started when it came into development, there wasn't really much focus on certification. Then it was more about, okay, what can you do? Can you do front end? Can you do back end? Can you write PHP? Can you write Python? So it was more of, okay, what can you do? But nowadays, a lot of people are already into development, are already into tech. So one of the things that can also allow you to stand out is to get certified if you can. So getting certified would actually be like a placard that will be on you whenever you try to apply to somewhere. That thing is going to just kind of show up and allow people to know that for you to get certified in this particular area, definitely you knew what you're doing. Then also build a portfolio or a case study. So try to just work on a couple of tasks. It could be your hobby task, gather those tasks and try to build a portfolio around them. So, and one thing is, you also have to be creative, because when it comes to being technical or being either a developer, a data analyst, any field whatsoever in the technical space, you have to just be creative. You have to be analytical, and you have to have a problem solving skills. You have to kind of see a problem and try to just break it down, because computers, they are very, very fast, but it is just the result of several iterations. Different people, starting from the olden days where computers were kind of relying on transistors, then down the line they go into microprocessor till the GPU, CPU that we have today that are just extremely fast. So these are just kind of adding addictive work that people have done in the past. Then it now made it what it is today. So, but if we're able to kind of be analytical about it, okay, we want to be able to kind of know whether to show something or not show something. That means either on or off, either true or false. Can we build the circuits? Can we build something to actually make that representation of what we want or to have in mind, or either showing a signal of on or off? So then somebody did that. That became another platform for another person to just keep on moving till we get to where we are today. So, but if you're able to kind of analyze the problem, then you are going to kind of make it in this field a lot. So now we've talked about how to leverage your new skill in the real world. Just in summary, assess and align yourself with the industry, get certified if applicable, then build a portfolio, be creative, be analytical. Then the next item we would discuss, I was asked to also talk about is to give you tips on self-improvement and staying current in the technical space. So for you to kind of improve yourself in the technical space, firstly, you need to have a mentor. Yes, you seek mentorship and peer support. Fortunately for you, you guys have gone through the bootcamp. You have a couple of trainees already that actually took you through a couple of processes during the bootcamp. So these are your first mentors. Try to kind of ask them questions whenever you get stuck in doing things, because at times because when I started, I don't have a mentor then. All the flexibilities and all the good things that are available now were not available then, or perhaps were kind of not opportune to have them. So then we have to just kind of do everything on our own. Search. It was very, very difficult. I wish I had the opportunity that you guys have today, because that would have actually streamlined my journey towards being who I am today. So because when you have a mentor, the mentor kind of has experience of what you are trying to have, and they can be able to guide you on, okay, do this, don't do this. If you are doing this, you might be wasting your time. Just do this and you're going to get this result. I've tried this, it's not working. I tried this, it worked several times. So having a mentor gives you all of those shortcuts, and that is just it. Then another thing to also keep yourself improving is just to set clear learning goals. Okay, I want to be able to learn Node.js. I want to learn Node.js, and I want to kind of use it in building this particular thing I have in mind, just maybe an upgrade project. So that way you set a target, then you have to work towards that particular target. Because if you are just like, okay, I want to learn Node.js, then you're not acting upon how to use it in doing a real stuff, then you just kind of go through the documentation, you read it, and you just kind of be like, I'm actually working on Node.js, but since you didn't give yourself a kind of target, so that becomes like something that I'm just learning, but you're not kind of making it, you're not being serious with it. So also leverage on online courses, like and certification, maybe courses like Udemy, like Coursera, EDX. I still take course on some items. As currently I still take courses on some items as we speak. So learning continues. Just try to learn and learn. Then follow industry leaders and tech news. These are also things that can also make you stay current. Then work on side projects and apply your new skills. I've talked about this earlier. So work on side projects. So work on. There was a particular time where I wanted to kind of I have in mind. I think that was before ChatGPT came about. So I like to kind of kind of do things automatically. That is one of the things that we tech people love to do. So I wanted to have a blog such that that blog is going to automatically. I want to kind of write a bot basically. That bot, what the bot will do is basically to automatically post on my behalf, and it should be posting a unique content. That was before ChatGPT came about. So I was able to kind of see that, okay, for me to be able to kind of do automatic posting, that means I need to train this bot. How do I train the bot? Okay, don't think too far. We are not doing it's not as if it's kind of a magic. It's actually doing what anybody would want to do if you want to kind of create a post. Do your research. Do your research, take a couple of probably previously written articles that you want to use as the basis of your knowledge, then add yours to it and the like. So I was able to kind of define the flow, and using Python coupled with PHP, a couple of other tools, just knowing that, okay, I wanted to use Python to solve this particular problem because it has a library that does that perfectly. I want to use PHP to do this because I would love to use it in solving this problem. So I was able to kind of come up with something that actually solved the problem. So that way, when you work on side projects, you encounter a lot of problems and you fix it. You're not under prayer to fix those problems, because it's not as if somebody is requesting you to kind of complete this in 2 days. It's just a side project for you. So if you have this kind of projects, just work on them. Then it gives you the opportunity to even try out things that you would love to. Then also be open-minded and don't be biased in seeing tools. Let me tell you this: when we have React, how many of us use Angular here? Or has used Angular in the past? Yes, one person.
I've not used
Okay.
Angular before. and I went to
Angular before. Okay,
I
so
use it just
when
because.
yeah, so we have Angular, we have for those of us that are kind of new in tech. So Angular is a front end framework. So it's a front end framework. React is a library. Angular is a front end framework. So it has a couple of tools that would allow you to kind of build easily. Although it's a little bit complex, but it's also as robust, even more robust in terms of you being able to use it to finish your project from the start to the end. So like React, where React is so kind of flexible, it allows you to kind of import or add a couple of libraries that you would like to work with, and it's even lighter compared to Angular. So Angular kind of bundled everything, which is one of the things that most people wouldn't want, although some corporate organizations would want to use it for that. So then when we were working, we were using Angular, then React came up talking about, then people were like, no, Angular is better than React. React is better than Angular. So we started entering this kind of environment whereby it now started becoming arguments. So don't just do this, guys. So whenever you see two tools that are trying to solve either the same thing, try to understand those two tools. Don't be like, I'm a React guy. Angular is not. You don't even want to research about Angular. You don't even want to know the weaknesses and the capabilities of it. So be open-minded to tools. These are tools. They are not your enemy. They are not maybe PDP or APC or Labour Party. Yes. So just look at them as tools and try to understand their weaknesses and their strengths. That way, if you have a project and that project, the way you see the project, you can be like, it is best we use this particular tool for this project due to the fact that this tool is more structured. It's being used in a very well structured environment. Then this and that and that. So you can just kind of give your reasons with more backing knowledge of why you're going in that direction, instead of just like, yes, you have to use React. React is the best in the community. That is just it. Final. Don't do that. So try to learn about it, even if it's not as if you're going deep into it. Just try to know the weakness, the capabilities of what you can do. If those capabilities interest you, yeah, just try to learn. Be free, be open-minded. That way you can be able to kind of make your decision with more reasons of doing that. So now another thing is you can jump slightly on trends and give things a try out. So maybe we have a new technology in town that people are kind of, oh, this is new. Just jump into it, as I've said, slightly. Just give it a couple of trials, then know where to stop. Just know where to stop. So you've actually tried. Let's say the new trend has 100% of knowledge that you could learn in order to be very, very good at it. So it's actually new. If it's not in demand and it doesn't interest you to use it for a particular product, you just want to kind of learn it and see what it's all about. Just maybe take a weekend, look through it and see the capabilities of it, so that by the time you stop, you already know that should I want to continue on this path, this is where I can continue. Then you already have the idea of what that thing is being used for. That way, when you're asked questions around it, you can talk about it to your point of research. And when problem comes, you already know that this is a tool that can solve this problem. Maybe all I need is research more on these aspects, because it is something that you know about that you kind of use in your thinking. If you don't know that, pencil existed, you can only start imagining, and you would want to kind of start go back into 1802s and say, I'm trying to invent something that can allow me to write. Then someone will just tell you, why bother yourself? This is pencil now, oh, for God's sake. So you will spend 10 years on this thing, trying to invent something that has been invented before. So when you learn about something, it becomes the way brain works is that when you give your brain A, B, and C information, then your brain now starts. The next time you see a problem that A can solve or B can solve, or you can combine A and B to solve, then your brain will just kind of start thinking in that direction. But if you don't give your brain A and B, then there is no way you can get solution around that particular part, which is why you actually thought that, okay, let me attend this bootcamp. By the time I attend this bootcamp, I'll be able to acquire A, B, and C skills. So such that if I want to kind of think in that direction, or perhaps work in that direction, I'll be able to know how to go about it, instead of me just hearing about tech, and be like, I don't know what they're doing over there. So then engage in community, attend meetup, code challenge, etc., like we are doing at the moment. So attend meetups, that way you kind of stay up to date in the current technology that we have. Then that will now bring me to the next item, which is strategies for navigating the job market and getting opportunities. So which is one of the main reason most of us learn. I personally, I do learn because one, learning is very good, and also I learn because I have to survive. So I wouldn't lie to you and start saying that learning is important over the money. I knew how to spend money. Then I'll be like, okay, how can I sustain myself in this journey? Then I need some skills. So if there isn't any money in tech, do you get, guys? I will have been in other places. Although I would be like, yeah, I have passion for tech, I'm doing it, but that would be a side gig for me entirely because it will not be financing my expenses. So basically, I can say that virtually everybody on this call also would want to either work at some point in their career and also get opportunities. So for you to do that, you need you need to do certain endeavors. It's not more than, okay, I'm very, very good at this, then you're not doing the rest of the things, you wouldn't stand out and you might not necessarily get those opportunities. So things that you could do in order to allow you be able to navigate the job market is, firstly, you optimize your resume and LinkedIn profile. Optimize them. Then I wouldn't want to talk too much about this because subsequently there's another person that will talk more on these areas. We'll just kind of give a brief touch on them to save time. So optimize your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Then tailor your application for the job. So some people will just be like, I want to apply for a job. I've prepared my resume. Then the same resume you send to company A, you send it to company B with entirely different requirements. So before sending your resume, try to look at the job requirements, then update your resume to kind of match what is being expected of you in the job requirement. Because if looking through your resume doesn't resonate with the job requirements, there is no way you will be granted interviews. So optimize your resume. There are certain times where, yeah, everybody, I wouldn't lie to you, I'm kind of a little bit honest guy. So there are certain times where we kind of lie a little bit on CVs. Yeah, kind of lie a little bit just to make your CV fancy. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to do that. Just know how to do it and don't do it too much. So just know how to do it. Don't do it too much. Just be free. So if you kind of like, okay, in React, you are a mid-level. So mid-level, you're not yet a senior, then, and you know you are a mid-level in React because you know that, okay, for you to be a senior in React, you need to be at this stage. But you're a mid-level person, but you're interested in senior level salary. That is where the problem is to start from. So that way you kind of want to portray yourself as a senior guy. So there is no harm in doing so, guys. So if I had kind of choose to say that I'm not good enough, or I don't think I'm senior yet, I will still be at the junior level, if not today. And it's not as if someone would be crowning you that, okay, at this stage now, you're working with us now, you are now a senior engineer. No, at times you are the person that will kind of develop the skills and also give yourself the role. Although there are certain places whereby you kind of grow and you'll be like, yes, we believe you can manage more team members now. You are now a senior, I want to give you a senior level salary and the likes. But if that is not happening, improve yourself, give more value to the company you are working at, then call yourself a senior. So now the next thing will be to leverage on networking. If you're trying to apply to a place and you know somebody that works in that environment, try to reach out to them. That way, it gives you more leverage over the rest of the candidates. Yeah, this I've tried it in the past and it worked for me. So if you're trying to apply to a place and you know someone that works, maybe a friend of yours that works there, reach out to them, try to ask questions. They will give you more info about the role they are trying to fill, and they will give you more info about the kind of person they are looking out for, or the kind of work culture environment that that place is like. So if it's something that you wouldn't like, you wouldn't even bother to waste your time. And it's something that you're going to like, now you are informed because you now understand what you would meet over there. So give me a second, guys. Okay, so let's continue. Sorry about that, guys. So now the next item we'll be looking into is after you kind of leverage your networking, then the next thing is for you to prepare for your interviews. Maybe you've gotten more info about the business, you've trained, you've tailored your CV to make sure it meets or it suits each job you are trying to apply for. Then you've applied for it and you've now been given an interview request. So how do you prepare for your interviews? How are you going to be able to kind of just smash it, so to speak? So firstly is try to understand the type of interview you would be doing, because interview varies a lot. We have technical interviews, we have behavioral interviews, we have cultural, we have on-site, different types of interviews. And employers try to often indicate the type of interview they would want to conduct for you. So once you're able to kind of know the type of interview you're conducting, try to just Google it. Research, okay, what are the kind of questions that a behavioral interview entails? Cultural interview, what is the kind of question that you do ask? They're kind of generic question that once you start asking, oh, this is the kind of question, then you now research about the company you wanted to work with, or that is giving you that, granting you that interview. So you research about them so that if you would be giving maybe instances, examples, you can kind of start tailoring it down to their company, kind of, or giving examples relating to their company. That way, it will be easier for them to understand what you are saying, and you kind of think that this person knows a little bit more about our domain, our niche. Then understand the job requirements. Read through the job requirements very, very well. And please note, when you are trying to apply, job requirements at times are meant to scare off the weak guys. So the moment you read through the job requirement and you observe that you know at least 60% of what is on that job requirement, please apply for the job. The moment you know at least 60%, apply for the job, because you shouldn't be waiting till you are able to kind of have 100% knowledge of what's going there. Because most of those things that are available on that job requirement, you may only use them once or probably twice on that job. And if you get that job, each job too comes with its own learning curve. There are certain times when you join a company, you don't know kind of too much about it. Then when you are now on the job and you're being paid, so you can now increase more. Oh, I'll be using React on daily basis now. I've gone past the stage of I'm building a small component. Now I have to maintain an application that has several components. I have to maintain large state. I have to do this. I have to ensure that I don't create bugs on the platform. So it's not more about, yes, I can create a component that once you click on it, it increments. Once you click on it, it adds to cart. No, we are now going deeper. So things like other components, things like use context is no longer I dealt to React. So you start kind of learning them, reading them line to line, the documentation to know how it works, so that by the time you have issues, you'll be able to kind of respond to them better. So maybe when you got the job, you know that your React is like 40%. Now you've gotten the job, you are getting paid, and you're being given tasks to work on. That means you need to upskill immediately, because there is no room for excuses now, because you're getting paid. So you need to just upskill immediately and read more so that you'll be able to kind of deliver on the job. Because at times when you get in new people, then after the interview they don't deliver. I've seen that a lot. Then we have to just kind of decide and we let them go. And at times when we get in certain people, we discover that they are not too good, but with time they will become the best. So that the fact that that of when we get in new people and they're not too good, but with time they become the best. I've seen that more often than I've seen people we get in that are not very good. So don't kind of look at yourself like I don't think I know much. Yes, you don't know much, but apply. There is no mean applying. I only stop advising people to apply. No, I would not stop advising people to apply until one day in Nigeria here, there is now a kind of death penalty if you fail an interview. That's when I've just stopped. Don't apply when you think you don't know it. But for now, there is no penalty for you failing an interview. So why don't you want to apply? So apply, and most often when you prepare for that interview, you're going to pass it. So once you understand the company you're trying to interview, then try to relate it with your past experience. So because at times you'll be given questions like, okay, give us a situation that happened. Then what are the tasks you did when that situation happened? What were the action and what is the result? So try to kind of think of what you've done in the past and align them in this kind of scenarios. So those are kind of behavioral questions. So I'll just kind of move a little bit faster now. So let me go to the key point here, which is how to negotiate. So how do you negotiate for better salaries and benefits? Firstly, is you have to know your worth. You have to know your worth. Like, okay, I am a junior developer, and firstly, and how do you know your worth? You research on the market. You research. If you have friends working for a very good company, ask them to kind of onboard you. If you have senior guys, ask them to, okay, with my skill now, if I want to get a job, how much would they be offering me, or how much am I eligible to get, at least for a start? Then you're like, as a junior, you should be getting XYZ amount in this particular field, because it varies from job to job, and also it also varies based on the role you're applying for. So once you know your worth, then research on the market and the company rates for the role. So if you're able to, if the company have already stated that, okay, for this job is actually 400,000 naira, or it's 500,000 naira, or it's 1 million, and so on and so forth. So they've given you an insight of how much they are willing to pay. So although you can still apply for the job and still even get more than what's written there, if you're able to convince them. And some can still apply for the job and then get below, depending on how they manage it. So, but there are not certain times where they wouldn't state the amounts they want to pay for the role on there. So how will you able to kind of still try and see how to get the best, even if the amount wasn't specified? So firstly, once you've known your worth, then you've known the market standard for the role you're applying for. So, and another thing is you don't have to be humble. Some people will be asked question, okay, how much are you willing to get, or what is the remuneration you are willing to receive for this role? And some will be like, so please give me any amount that the company sees that is the best for this role. No, don't do that. You will regret to say that, because then they will like, yes, okay, noted. Unless if the company has standard that is well structured. If it's a well structured company and they have a standardized salary for everybody on the job for the role, that they cannot go above or below. And not being able to go above or below is actually a lie. It's actually a lie. Depending on the value you are bringing to the business, they would always want to be flexible with you, unless they see no value in you and they can get your kind of skill elsewhere. So don't be humble. If you've been asked, you can first ask them, okay, what is the company's budget for this role? If they push it back to you that, okay, no, we want to know what you are willing to get, and you can try and push back that I would like to know what is the company budget for this role. So if they're able to now tell you their budget, they need that budget, you'll be surprised at times if they tell you that, okay, for this role, we wanted to pay 400,000 naira. Probably what you initially had in mind was 200,000, for instance. Then you'll be surprised that they will tell you for this role, we're willing to pay 400. That means if you had already told them that 200, you've made one big mistake. Then what you will now end up doing is you now end up realizing that you're on the job, you have other people on the job as well. And the day would now come that you guys will be discussing salaries, and you now discover that you are the least paid person on the team and you are the most productive person on the team. You feel cheated. No, you're not being cheated. You didn't play your game very well. I don't know if you are getting, or are we kind of tired a little bit, so we can just wrap up.
No, I'm
No,
still
no,
here.
no.
Also,
Then,
so do I
then,
still have some time left, or I'm kind of going
yeah,
above limit?
you still have about 13 minutes left.
13 minutes. Okay. I should wrap up for there. So you should kind of let me continue from where I stopped. You shouldn't be humble. Try to ask what they are willing to pay. If they can tell you that, then try to ask for more. Regardless, it's not as if you are stingy, but it is good to ask for more. Okay, we are willing to pay 400, although I'm willing to get like 600 for this role. Then that will not beg the question of wait. Because another mistake that people do make is you've been interviewed for the role, you've convinced your interviewers, then they're now like, okay, what is your previous salary? That is a killer shot for most people. So what is your previous salary? Okay, or they can ask you your previous job, what was salary you were taking there? Some would now say my previous job, I was getting 50,000 naira, I was getting 60,000 naira, I was getting 100,000 naira. And then I'm okay, thank you. Don't worry. We'll make you an offer and we'll get back to you over email. So the offer that you are going to get will just be around 120k, 100,000. It's never too bad, but it's actually your value is way more than that particular amount of money. But it's just that the way you handled it. Because there was a particular time I was asked, okay, what was your previous salary on a particular job? Although it was ethical, I wouldn't ask you to do anything bad. But I knew that I have been able to convince these people. Then I used to earn around, was it not 250 then or 300 then? So what I now told them was, okay, my previous salary, I now added 200,000. Okay, my previous salary was for me 450,000 naira. Then they're like, because now I'm requesting them to pay me 500. So I'm like, what was the previous salary? Was like 450. Then they were like, okay, how can you give us your payment slip for the past 2 months? Can you send that to us over an email? I was like, fine, I'll send it to you. Then there is a problem. I don't have any payment slip that speaks to that amount. What do I do? Guys, I'm sorry, I cheated. Maybe this can act as a confession. I cheated. So what I did was I called a friend of mine that is in my network. So we work together. He's a finance guy for the company I worked with in the past. That I called him, okay, I'm in this kind of scenario and I needed a payment slip that will speak to this amount I told the interviewers. Then he prepared one slip for me. He put in that particular amount and he sent it to me. And I submitted that and I was able to get the new price I was asking for. So if I kind of gone that way around, that means I would have gotten way lower than that. And it's not as if I didn't convince them to kind of get that new payment. So immediately I got my first payment. What did I do? You have to give back to the society. So I just asked for his account. He sent me account number and I transferred 50k to him. Then we're happy. Win-win. So there are certain times that you don't review your previous salary, especially if they are very, very low. At the moment now, if someone should ask me, okay, what was the previous salary? You get, I'll be willing to tell them the exact figure. There is no need for me to hide anymore. Because I knew it's either you are most likely you may not be able to make the payment, or do you get what I'm trying to say now? But back then I may not want to tell them that. I'll just kind of try to add more to it. So and when it comes to salary negotiation, you have to be flexibly rigid. So if you give your employer particular range, which is kind of they think is too high, and you're like, we don't think you can make it, you can pay this. If you're very sure of yourself, don't back down. Just tell them, okay, that is what I think I would like to earn, and I wish you could actually afford that. I couldn't go below that, and I'm actually sorry for that. So when you tell them that, and they will say, okay, no problem, we'll review it and we'll get back to you. Oftentimes, they may not get back to you, but they can still get back to you at time, and they'll just give you that particular offer. So interviews doesn't end. It shouldn't always end with, okay, yes, we are going to give you an offer immediately. No, you should also give them, when you actually see like they're thinking about that offer. If you finally get the offer, then you know that it's actually a real offer for you. But if you just get the offer straight away, then you can start having the feeling that, oh, this amount is not too small. Or could I have asked more? Because there are certain times that you asking more can actually make you get your 2-year salary in a year. Like your 2 years salary, you can get it in a year if you're able to kind of know how to ask for a better salary and how to be upfront with it. So you've now negotiated and you've given them they're like, we'll get back to you and we'll let you know. We are still reviewing a couple of candidates, and by month end we will continue. We completed the interview, and once you complete the interview, we are going to get back to you on the status of your interview. So the next thing we do is keep track of your application. You just track your application. Have a spreadsheet where you kind of, okay, I noticed that, okay, I applied here. This is the feedback, or this was the feedback they gave me, and this is they were like, they'll get back to me so date. So try to just document those things. So in case you want to follow up. That would make it easier for you to follow up, because you can be applying for jobs like several times without keeping track of them. Hence, you lose the state. What is the most familiar language that everyone on this call know, Emeka?
Familiar language.
Like familiar programming language, JavaScript, right?
JavaScript is good.
Any framework?
Python.
What framework? Python, right?
JavaScript or Python.
Okay.
Then framework, Node.js is the most popular on the call right now. Node.js.
Okay, Node.js. Okay, at the moment. Okay. So now you just have to keep track of the states. You keep track of it, then embrace rejection. Once you see rejection, don't feel like I should have taken the offer. No. Rejection is part of the routine. I'm speaking to you now. I'm currently the head of the development somewhere. If I still apply to some jobs, I'll still get rejected. If I still apply to some interviews, so I will still fail certain interviews. It's not as if there's no interview I wouldn't pass, or there is no job. Do you get? I wouldn't get. No. If I still apply, I will still fail several interviews. I will still fail several job applications. So it is just normal. Don't see rejection as maybe the end of the world, or perhaps you now start counting on your decision and be like, I was greedy. If I would not have been greedy, I would have gotten the job. Let me give you a short story. But how many minutes do I have left? 2 minutes.
5.
5 minutes. Yeah, almost done. So then I wanted to get a job in Lagos. So initially, when Ademola read my bio the other time, you would see we have real estate there. So initially, I worked for a small real estate startup. We call it off-key rent. Then we worked on that for they help students in getting accommodation online. So we go to visit the hostels, the different hostels that we have off campus. We take snapshot of those hostels, we upload them on the platform, and we make it very search engine optimized. So then we rank one. We rank one in those years. So we worked on that, but we had a slight issue around monetization. We couldn't sustain the business, and we had to shut it down. And after shutting it down, I was like, I want to come to Lagos to look for a job. I already understand program, I already programmed the site that was functional, and people used it, make payments and the likes. So I was like, I wanted to get a job. I applied to a particular job. So then I borrowed 50K. So I borrowed 50K. I called my mom and told her that, okay, I already got a job in Lagos. So that job, they were like, we should pay money so that they will train us. So that, like that, I borrowed 50K from her. So it wasn't a scam. So she was like, she was of the opinion that find something to do now. Get a job, keep on calling you. How far? Go and teach now. I don't want to teach. You get. So now after I got that 50,000 naira from her, I traveled down to Lagos. Fortunately, I was reading Angular books. I used to buy, I used to kind of print books then. So I used to print books then. When I go online, electricity seems to be the issue. I don't know if it's still an issue now, because I've been on solar, as I told the maker, for the past maybe 3 or 4 years now. I don't know if Nigeria has actually fixed the electricity, but then it used to be a bad thing. Better now, you guys can. So then I wanted to read a couple of books around PHP, around frameworks, but the power of my laptop would not sustain me to kind of read that far. What I ended up doing is I got a printer and I print those books so that even when I'm not having electricity, I can just still read them physically. So, but now what I do is I do buy books now. Let me give you an example of some of the books I find now to show you that we learn continuously. So I'll bring them to you. So don't think that once you finish this at the end. This is one of the books that I bought lately. This particular one cost around 150,000 naira. So these are other books. And so I think the total of those books are kind of like 500,000 or so. Then I bought it from Amazon. Yeah? Although this books. What's that?
Not just go on.
Okay, so then I read some books. Then I traveled to Lagos. I got an interview in a particular company. So when I go to the company, before I went for the interview, I already asked a friend that works in Lagos. He told me that the average amount for a front-end developer was 150,000 naira. So I now got an interview in Ikeja then. So when I went for the interview, I passed the interview basically. And they were asking me how much should we pay you? And I told them, pay me 150. They're like, so if we don't have the 150, so we shouldn't bother to call you, right? I was like, yeah, don't bother to call me. That the amount I wanted is just 150,000 naira. So you're like, you actually did well, but are you saying if we have 100,000, we shouldn't call you? 100,000 looks like a very big money then as well, because I wasn't earning any amount, practically zero. I was just living on Gary and some days, and I'm able to kind of leave my housemate on. I don't know if you guys can read it as well. So then 100K was kind of like much, like a very good offer to start with. But I still said, no, I think 150 is what I wanted to get. And they're like, no problem, we'll go back to you, we'll call you once we review this process. I think you gave me that normal template. Then I went on 2 weeks, they did not call me. So I lost the offer. Unfortunately for me, that 50K, I spent it on transportation and feeding, I exhausted the amount. So now I had to now call again. Yes, just to kind of get another money. So when I now called again, I now got another interview elsewhere. Maybe 2 weeks later, I lost that of 100K. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Then I kept on applying. I got another interview. Then 2 weeks later, I was not able to get another job. I was able to get an offer of 150K. So if I had went for that 100K, calculate the 100K for 7 months, that would have given me 1.2 million naira over a year. But that of the 150K would actually give me half a year more. I don't know if you guys get. So at times when you see rejection, don't think that is just the end of the world. No, that's never the end of the world. Just keep on applying, because by the time you get what you actually wanted and you keep on improving yourself to be able to kind of qualify more for what you are looking for, and you get it, you will be glad you did make that decision of not settling for less. So yeah, that would just bring me to the end of this interview. I said interview, sorry. I've been interviewing a couple of clients, a couple of candidates in the past. So, not interview. So I'm not interviewing you guys. That just bring me to the end of this discussion. And I would just be glad that even if at least if it's one thing that you get, not everything I've said here is actually correct though. In your own daily lives, you're going to be able to kind of, either add to it, subtract, make some subtraction. There are different places whereby I was actually lucky. And there are several places whereby I was actually unlucky. And you guys will be more luckier than I am. So you get, and one of the reasons why I said you are luckier is because now you were opportune to pass through a boot camp and you actually got someone to teach you instead of being a wanderer, wandering around the places like we did before we were able to kind of get to the path. So right now you are kind of very lucky because you have a couple of people showing you the path, giving you the shortcut to the so-called success. And I wish that very soon everybody on this call will be successful, and at some point you'll be able to kind of also make impact to other people as well, to ensure that we keep on making Africa more resourceful. Thank you guys for inviting me to this event. I really appreciate you guys, and I wish
Yeah,
you.
thank you very, very much, Afis. That was
Yeah,
a very enlightening session. I learned some tricks as well from everything you shared, and yeah, I really like that. So, if anyone has questions to ask, right, I would open the floor now for about 5 minutes, right? Otherwise, I'll just ask some of the questions I have myself, and then we'll move on. So, does anyone have questions for us? To ask, brother? You guys, if you're sure, you can send a chat either here or on YouTube if you're on YouTube. If you're streaming on YouTube, rather. Um, okay, let's see. I'll just wait for about 1 extra minute, and if not, I'll ask my question. Uh, all right. So it looks like everyone got it clearly, but me, I did not. I have some questions to ask. Right. So, Afis, you mentioned something about certifications in the beginning of your um discussion and all of that. So, what kind of
yes.
certifications can you recommend for people? Because there are a lot of certifications out there, to be honest. And which ones do you think have more weights than, obviously they have weights on each other. So, which one do you think, which one would you recommend for someone just starting out, someone who just wants to, be
Yeah. So
certified?
okay. So I think it depends. Like personally, I have no certification. Yeah, I have zero certification. Zero
Okay.
certification. Now, but what I have is I have several years of experience, and I've
Mm,
worked with a couple of companies that it would be kind of not to, it would just kind of associate myself with yourself, say this guy should have the experience that we wanted. So I've worked with just some big company, not too big company actually, but I have something on my resume that is actually catchy. But someone just starting, they may not have this experience, they may not have all of these things at once, and they still want to kind of shorten the journey. So that is why I also recommend certification for such candidates. So if I want to go for that certification right now, it's going to be based on a particular interest. It's either I want to just specialize on this thing. I want to actually specialize and I want to be very, very good at this. But it's not as if I needed the certificate to stand out. If you look at my bio, when you read it the right time, you'll be like Bachelor of Science from the University of Ilorin, right?
Yes.
Now, you've assumed that, and I can't blame you for doing that. You've assumed that I studied computer science, right?
No, actually, I did not. I wasn't. I did not.
So I actually studied biochemistry.
Oh, wow.
So like it's not as if it is not wow anymore, because a lot of people to even on this call we could have some people that are actually from different departments. So it's actually survival. I'm not a genius. You get, I'm just somebody that is hungry. Then I looked around and be like, oh, what are available that I can do? The software development. Okay, let me go and do it, make money from there. And I was also fortunate to make money from there. So we have a lot of people that will be like, yeah, it's not as if software development is actually a passion for them, but they needed it for survival. Then after a process of time, it became a passion because they realized they were kind of get confused about the capabilities of what they could do. Because right now, when I see a problem, I'm like, there's nothing I can do. It's not as if nothing I can do, but I still have a kind of, and where I'm standing out is because you know what you are talking about, and you want to kind of show to the world that you actually understand that this thing you've written here is not as if you just written it here. You have a certificate. It's also a tech lead. Elon Musk doesn't need certificates to open some doors. They get.
Yeah.
Elon Musk doesn't need more certificate to open some doors because people already trust him. He has experience over years. He has a couple of past projects that he has done in the past. If he's going for a certification now, it's just like an addition, not as if it's going to make him stand out. So for younger people that are in the technical space, when you go for certification, you have currently maybe those on this call now just completed their 9 weeks bootcamp. They will not have the several years of experience. But if they should go for certification around what they've actually learned, that certification is going to take them through a couple of more things, more detailed things that ordinarily they should have gone to work in an environment for them and also spend some years before they can get those knowledge. But certification will just put them through those exercises because otherwise they would fail the certification. So I do recommend certification for you, especially when you're starting out, because it allows you to know more about the case study. Then also it will now give you another edge of showing your employer or the interviewers that you've actually gone through these procedures and you've actually completed with a very good grade. So that is me being playing with you. I don't have certificates, but I know I have experience. But if I don't have the experience and I actually want to say that, okay, I still want to convince, then I will have done more certification on S than I am currently. Then also, should I want to kind of further more, or I feel like I want to kind of specialize better now, definitely I will consider doing the certification because I needed it, but it's not as if my life dependent on it. But when you're starting out, especially when you're very, very early trying to do certification, it will allow you to stand out than other candidates during the interview process. So that's just my own personal opinion. It may not be right, but that's the way I see it. And the way I see it may be different from the way you see it or the way other people would utilize it. So, but my personal belief about that.
Yeah,
Like,
I actually think you made some solid points, and I kind of agree for the most part of what you said. So I have a couple of other questions. Like time is not on our side right now, so I will try to
okay,
match them as much as I can.
okay,
Right. So one other question, you mentioned something about building your problem analysis skills. Right? Like how would you suggest a beginner to go about it? Is it okay, maybe solving so much late code or um how exactly would you suggest the beginner to go around building their problem analysis skill?
like being able to like have a problem solving skill, right?
Yes, that's
Yes. So for beginners to be able to kind of solve problems, yes. For beginners, for you to have problem solving skills, you need to start seeing all the existing solutions that we have. When you see the existing solutions that we have, okay, this particular problem was solved. How was the problem solved? What is the key thing behind it? Don't one another thing is you need to also expose yourself to the tools. Like for beginners, try to understand functions a lot and what they are being used for. Because when you are being asked to analyze a problem or solve a particular problem, if you don't understand maybe functions, you wouldn't be able to use them. You wouldn't be able to kind of start using them in solving problems. So understand function, understand libraries, understand the tools, know your tool very, very well. Then whenever as a beginner, whenever a problem gets solved, or perhaps you have a particular problem and you call a maker, and maker, please help me resolve this particular issue. I have a problem. And the maker was like, oh, solves it in 5 seconds. Try to ask, is how did you solve this? I'll be honest, I've actually spent 2 weeks on this thing, and you're able to solve this in less than 5 seconds. Then the maker will now be honest with you and tell you that the 5 seconds you saw me spending on this thing, I've actually also spent 2 weeks on it previously as well. So there is no shortcut.
yeah.
There are certain issues that you have to experience it in order to understand it better. But there are certain ones that will tell you, do you get? But if you're not a very good problem solver, you would want to kind of have a mentor. Then you would want to kind of start thinking about problem solving. Start being analytical. Look at existing application. Try to see that, okay, what if I want to build a Google map today? How will I build it? Try to just come up with a rough solution in your head and communicate it, say it, speak it out to an experienced person. Say, okay, I want to build a Google app. Maybe you have a backend. Then the backend will contain this array of places. Then let's say the array will be coordinates. And if I do this, or I move this way, just try and communicate the problem. Then an experienced person will not tell you that it will not scale, it will not work. Don't go that direction. Or look for an existing application that's already built or is in the market and try to either rebuild it or try to think about how their backend works or try to just come up with, okay, I want to design, if you're a front end, maybe I want to just design Facebook. I want to give it a couple of functionality. I want to design a calculator. By the time you start designing that calculator, you now start realizing that is the logic behind it is more than just 1 plus 1. Because you now start realizing some of the things that those people that did it actually went through. Maybe once you add the first two characters and you try to add the third one, there's somewhere in the memory or in your code where you are still holding to the past calculation and it's now affecting the new one, which is something we call bugs, by the way. So by the time you have those bugs, you now discover that, oh, maybe the way I'm handling the state is the issue. Maybe I need a more robust state management system that is way better than this simple use state or perhaps simple other kind of technique you're using. Then you now start Googling and you now realize a new tool, basically, a new tool that actually does it better. The previous one you were using, try to convince yourself it's not as if it is a bad tool. It was just designed to serve a purpose. Now You've now known that, okay, this particular tool here cannot solve this complex kind of problems. So the next time you're not thinking of a problem, you are already thinking of, okay, firstly, and one thing about analytical is take the problem and break it down into pieces. Take it and break it down into pieces. Then take each piece of the problem and try to see how you can solve it. So you've taken the problem, a very complex problem, let's say Facebook, for instance. You've broken it down, okay, I want to have this component here, I want to have this component here, and I want to have a kind of shared state between all of these components. So that means you need to have some design, you need to also have some logic, you need to have a state. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So you actually broken that down. So you now start solving the problem one after the other. But when you just look at the problem as a whole, let's take for instance, this is the mirroring tape, for instance. Then I imagine if I want to build this today, and I'm like, okay, firstly when I draw it and I leave it, it actually slides back. That means something should be inside this thing that is actually retracting it. Then what could that be? Could it be a rotor? Maybe an electric rotor inside it. But an electric rotor actually needs electricity to work. But this is not having any cable for me to plug it in, and it's still working. That means it's not an electric rotor. Or does it mean that it has battery inside it? Maybe the battery is inside it and it's not powering the rotor and I cannot see it. But if there was a battery inside this thing, that means the battery would run down one day. But this thing has been with me for years and it's not running down. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Google it. Then once you Google it, you now start understanding more about this thing. That probably there's particular retractable spring inside of it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But yourself, you need to be able to kind of ask yourself some questions. And there are certain times that don't just quickly Google something. Try to stress your brain. Try to just think about, okay, how can I solve this problem? Because there will be certain times that you don't have the opportunity to Google anything, and you have to use your brain. So you have to keep training your brain on how to see problem and how to be analytical about the problem. And you now be convinced that one day, what you are the way you are assessing the problem you are trying to solve, you will now Google it and you will now still meet the same answer there. Which means that if that kind of thing hasn't been invented before, you can also create that kind of solution. So at that level, you know that, yes, I'm now becoming a problem solver. And by the time you're able to kind of solve problem, you are kind of climbing up the ladder. The more problem you're able to solve, the more salary that will come your way, because the more value you would offer. And one simple trick that I didn't tell you about, it's not even a trick anymore. Everybody uses it. Use AI, use ChatGPT. But as a beginner, use it carefully. Because try to understand, because the people that already has their way around how to build robust application without relying too much on AI. Yes, I want to congratulate them, because AI will just make their work faster. But if you are very young and you are relying more on AI than normal, it's no good. Try to understand, okay, this function, even if you use ChatGPT to generate the function, try to understand, and okay, what are the components of this function? How can I read more on them, so that by next time you want to kind of come up with a solution, you will just imbibe those things into your own solution instead of relying on how to use AI to generate everything, which will not scale for you. So I don't know if I've been able to kind of
Yeah,
answer.
you are. Thank you very much. So, from what I got, basically, researching, doing a lot of research and practicing. The more you
Yes,
practice, the better you get. So, yeah, thank
exactly.
you very much. Thank you very much for the
You're welcome.
answer.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So earlier, when Afis was talking, he said something about revamping your CV. Not using the same CV for one organization. You are applying, like, separating your CV, making sure it's aligned to the job description and all of that, right? And that's why we have another speaker who is going to come up to speak about this whole CV thing and all of that. So just give me a minute while I read her bio. Olainkatsi Hannah has forged a remarkable career path as a LinkedIn tutor, social media content writer, and public speaker, amassing valuable experience in the professional industry. With over 3 years of experience as a LinkedIn tutor, she has empowered over 300 individuals spanning across different industries, from students, freelancers, digital service providers, and professionals, tutoring them on how to be intentional about their presence on LinkedIn. As a LinkedIn influencer, Olayinka has collaborated with renowned brands such as Fairmoney, Gam, Zipoko, LinkedIn Local Lagos, Number, and others. Her impact was recognized in 2021 when she was honored as the Young Personality of the Year by TIBA for inspiring fellow Gen Z individuals on LinkedIn. Further, in 2023, she earned a place as one of the top 200 female content creators on LinkedIn globally. One of the top 100 Nigerian creators on the platform, she's also among the top 100 West African young changemakers, God willing. Olaikasi Hannah, Olaikasi Hannah's achievements extend to being featured in Premium Times as one of the 30 under 30 female entrepreneurs. Notably with her creation skills, she has worked as a web content writer and also a content strategist at Brand Creation Consultancy, which significantly enhanced the brand's social media presence on LinkedIn. Guided by the mantra, you can always choose how your life turns out. Olainkati Hannah offers a range of services, including LinkedIn optimization and tutoring, LinkedIn ghostwriting, brand influencing on LinkedIn, and speaking engagements, both online and offline. So everyone, I'd like you to give a round of applause if you can to Olainkati Hannah as she comes ahead to speak on how to revamp your CV and how to grow your presence on LinkedIn. It's a clap now.
Okay, okay.
Right, so Olayinka, are you here? Or Hannah, rather, are you here?
Yes.
If not,
Hi, everybody. Good
can you pull your
afternoon. Can
camera?
you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can.
Yeah,
No,
we
I'm
can.
hear
sorry.
you
I cannot turn
fine.
on my camera. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cannot turn on my camera. You should not be annoyed, please. I'm sorry. So, hi, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing?
Okay.
Good.
So I want us to let's do a little bit of icebreaker because I mean you guys have been here for the past 15, 20 minutes and there has been a lot of things that the speaker has said. So if you have been sitting down, you can stand up, stretch your legs, go and have water, yawn or do something, okay? Because I mean my section, my voice is very loud. So whatever it is that you are doing, I'm going to be having your attention. I can tell you that for sure. So stand up, stretch your legs, do what you want to do, but just make sure that you are not what's that word? You're not getting distracted, okay? So hi everybody, my name is Olainkati Anna, and a lot of things has been said about me, right? A lot of things have been said. I mean, they have read my profile, and oh god, I started wondering if I'm the person that they are, reading her profile because I'm like, they hold me.
You too
So this
much
is my
now.
profile. But anyways, I'm so glad to be here. When is he? Are you the one? Is he the one that reached out to me? I can't remember who reached out to me, but then
Yes, please.
I was like,
Ademola.
okay, yes, yeah. I said, let me come here and share my little knowledge with you guys, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So let's just get right into it because I don't want to waste much of your time. I don't want to also waste my time because I've been preparing for this all morning. Today is Saturday. I was supposed to be having a meeting today, but then I decided to just say, let me just give you guys a little bit of my time on Saturday. So mhm. Now, today we're going to be talking about resume writing and the art of applying for jobs, right? And before we go into that, I think what's that word again? I want to 1 second, please. I'm trying to okay. Mm, I'm not very, very conversant with what's it called? Um Microsoft Teams. So sorry if it seems like I can't find my way. Just quickly, she would on, please. Yeah. So 1 second. Okay. So I hope you guys can still see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, same.
So this is a little roundup of who I am, right? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Good. Okay. Now, who exactly is Olayinka Anna? Before I go ahead and go into whatever I want to shoot, this is a little rundown of who Tiana is, right? So my name is Olayinka Anna, and back in 2020, I dropped out of school, which is something that even the way I'm saying it, gone, you must be wondering that who is this person? Like, how you know about school? I mean, we all know that the Nigerian parents have a dream for us. Like they already have our dream laid out. Like everybody is expected that when you finish secondary school, you get into university, you graduate, you get a job, you pack out of your house, and then bring a spouse home, that a man or a woman, and then you come home, and then you're married, and that's it. But the selection of my life was quite different. Honestly, very, very different. So in 2020, I joined our school. I was studying dental technology in College of Technology of I'm from Kwara State. Yes, a part Kwara girl. So I know I was school because I realized the fact that this course wasn't what I wanted to do. It was something that my parents just wanted me to do. And as a rebellious kid that I am, I was like, I'm sorry, but I cannot continue. I will not be part of those people who say, oh, just finish, just read it. Yeah, you never know. I'm like, no, 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 no. The little time that I am spending on this earth, I will make sure that I make the most of it. I will not stay in school and read, spend 4 or 5. And my course is like 6 year course, and spend 6 years reading a course that I know that I don't want to do. Like life is too short to do that. So I left. I carried my bag and came to Lagos. And in 2020, when I was staying in Lagos, I realized the fact that okay, now that I don't have a degree, how exactly do I make money? How do I make money before I'm not able to say I want to go back to school? Okay. And that was what led me in 2021 to decide that okay, let me sit down and ask myself exactly what are the skills that I currently have that I can, expand on and use to make money. And I realized that I could write. I mean, I was a good writer for an essay. So I was like, okay, let me brush up my skills on writing and then expand on it. And that was exactly what I do. Okay. So I went ahead and started writing on LinkedIn. That was what led me to LinkedIn. I will not even lie. I could not afford to pay a coach to teach me. So I just went to LinkedIn and started writing. I will go to YouTube, follow other writers, and just pick 1 or 2 lessons. And 3 months down the line, writing on LinkedIn 21, I got a writing gig. So the person that employed me was in Poland, and it was like, it's fine even if you don't know anything. If you're willing to learn, I'll teach you. I'm like, I'm willing to learn, and that was when I started learning. So I was able to work with him for like 4 months. And then I quit the job because it was very, very stressful. It was web writing. I had to be creating articles 5 times a week on different topics, and that was emotionally draining for me. Studied for 4 months, and then I left. And by the end of 2021, I was able to hit 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. And everyone started asking me, how are you able to be the person on LinkedIn? I mean, it's not like you have like these multiple degrees like some people that we know on LinkedIn. So how exactly did it happen? And that was when I realized the fact that I had a solution to a problem that many people are facing, which was many people could not figure out how LinkedIn work. And as a smart dev that I am, I positioned myself as a solution provider and started teaching people how to use LinkedIn. And I did that in 2022. But 2022, I realized that, okay, yes, I'm a good writer, but I want to get an industry experience. I want to work in a structured organization. So I went to intern. By that time, I already have like 3,000 followers on LinkedIn. But evidently, it didn't concern me even if I have enough followers. I realized that there was a gap in my knowledge. I needed to fill it up. So I went there. I was working with a consultancy company. I worked for like 2022, 2023. So that 3 January, everything blew up. I had over 20,000 followers. I was giving top 100 Nigerian creators, and a lot of things were happening. Now, by the end of 2023 again, I was back to like, okay, what exactly do I want to do? I mean, I left my job in January. Yeah, this LinkedIn whole thing was nice, but I realized that no, I needed something solid. I need to work on going back to school. What do I need to do? So going back to school went into okay, I needed money. So I need more money. Needing more money made me realize that I needed a job. And that was what made me just up my resume again. And then January, I started applying. By May, I did get a job with an event company where I currently work now, although I'll still be living in November. So the thing is me, I like getting knowledge. I pick it up, I move on to the next place. That's me. I'm very, very so that was how this 2024 journey has been. And as a movie, I love watching movies a lot. I can't even lie. I love watching movies, right? So that is the strategy of my story. My story, it might sound fun, but it wasn't funny. I will not even lie. It was not funny. It was just a journey of a young girl who was resilient, who wasn't given a platform, and she was able to get a platform for herself. And that is my story, guys. So enough with the story time. Enough with the story time. Let's move ahead. Okay. So what are we going to be covering today, guys? So before I go into it, I want to know that you guys are following me. Please drop a comment. I want to know that you are following me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you feeling my story? Is my story sweeting you?
Yeah.
Is my story sweeting you? Yes, please, please. So drop a comment. Let me feel it. I love it. I want to say I'm carrying everybody along. Okay. So now in this slide, you're going to be covering just four major things. Number one, how you can create a strong resume for yourself, how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile, how you can prep for interviews, and how you can negotiate your desired salary. Now, there's something I think I have in my mind. Now, you must have been wondering that, okay, this person does not even have a degree. So how has she been able to secure jobs? That is exactly the reason why this person could teach you all of this. Because if without a degree, I'm able to secure jobs, you that you have one that you're in school, why can't you? Tell me, why can't you? Okay? So we are going to be covering all of that in this slide. So let's start with the first thing, right? Creating a resume. Please and please, if you are listening to this, if you know your resume that you have, there isn't Canva to design it. Go and throw it in the brain. Straight. If you have other people that used to use Canva to create resume. After this section, please go and throw it in the dustbin. Straight. Because that is not the right way to create a resume. Resume, use your either Word document or Google Docs. That's what you use to create a resume. And the good thing is that there are templates there. Okay. Now, if you are creating a resume, there are a few important things that needs to be done. Just 5 important things, right? It's not really that much. So the first thing you need to do is the structure. That's why I mentioned templates, right? You don't have to create from scratch. When you go to Google Docs, or maybe Word document, there are templates that you can use, right? But you need to understand that how your resume is structured also plays a role when it comes to, especially the ATS system these days. It actually plays a very, very huge role. Some of you will be creating your resume and you are just looking. Some people are really after the aesthetics, but you're not a what's it called, a UI UX designer. So nothing concerned with aesthetics. Your resume, nothing concerned resume with aesthetics. You want to be creating a portfolio, can be doing the whole aesthetics. But when it comes to resume, you have to keep it professional and not to part. Okay, so that you use a template that has a clear format. Please and please. When it comes to your resume, we don't need to know your house address. We only need to know your location. We don't need to know your house address. No, please. If you are living in Lagos, use Lagos, Nigeria. If you are living in Kogi, use Kogi, Nigeria. Don't use your house address. Please don't. Okay? Then number 2, your contact information. In some cases, some people put their number. Some people just put their email. You can put your number and email, or you can put your official email. Please, I also think if you are listening to this, you should have an official email. You should. You definitely should. If you don't have one, please go and create one. I'm not talking about the one that says Tolulope 1538. Oh. That's not the resume, that's not the email, official email I'm talking about. I mean an official email that has your name. Please, it can be Yahoo, it can be Gmail, but it's an official email. Very, very important. Now, you have to create a professional summary, your expected activities. Now, this one are just the ETBT. You can figure that out yourself, okay? But remember that when you're structuring your resume, you are doing it in a reverse chronological order. So if I'm looking at your resume from top to bottom, the experience that should be there is what you're currently doing now. Straight to the last thing should be the one that you started with, right? That is how a resume should be structured. It's a reverse chronological order. So the first job experience that should be there is the way you're doing now, straight to the first job experience that you have. That is how it should be arranged, okay? So that is how it's structured. Now, your professional summary basically is just something that encapsulates your professional journey so far. Okay, so it could be 3 sentences, 1 paragraph. That's enough, right? But you should be able to cover your skills, your experience, and your career goals. Oh, I'm a data analyst, or I'm a UI UX designer with over 2-3 years, or I'm an entry-level UI UX designer that has certification. I'm looking to join a company that does this and that one. That is just basically, again, thank God for ChatGPT. Can always get people's souls together. But if I use ChatGPT, I didn't say you should just copy ChatGPT and paste it in your resume verbatim. Because there are also systems these days that reject resumes that are written with like 100% AI. Yes, that happens. It happens a lot. So you want to make sure that you're able to proofread and make it sound human as possible. Okay. Then the third one, please and please, when you're creating your resume, always remember achievements over duties. If you're a social media manager, I know that you are posting 3 times a week. Everybody knows that the job of a social manager, part of the job is posting online. You know, part of the job is creating content calendar. But what you want to know is, after creating this content calendar, what exactly were the results you got? After posting 5 times, or maybe working for this company, you posted 12 times a month, 15 times, or maybe you work for them for 3 months. Within these 3 months, what were the achievements that happened? Like, oh, there was 50,000 impression, there was 10,000, there was 10,000 impression. The followers were from 100 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000. Those are the achievements, right? We know what you can do, but we want to be able to make it quantifiable. I think that's the word to use. Okay. Now the fourth one, please and please, when you're creating your resume, you need to make sure that you're using relevant keywords, right? These are things that the ATS system tries to detect. There are certain keywords that a recruiter, an HR is looking for when they are scanning through your resume. Okay, so you need to research your industry for specific terms, right? And fill it where necessary, right? That is it. Then number 5, please and please, if you are still like maybe 2-3 years in your industry, I don't see any reason why your resume should be 5 pages long. Honestly, I don't see any reason why. It shouldn't be that long. Your resume should be 1 or 2 pages at most. 1 or 2 pages. So if you want to collapse it. It shouldn't be more than 1 or 2 pages, right? And then one other thing, please do not save your resume in Word. Save it in PDF. If you create it in Word, convert it to PDF format, right? And when you convert it to PDF format, the name that is the title of that document should be your name. Olainkati Anna resume. Ademola Thompson resume. Don't just write resume and go. This is how your resume get lost when you're applying for a job. Use your name, Olainkati Anna resume, maybe content writer. You can also add the job as maybe you're applying for UI UX. Olainkati Anna resume, UI UX. Okay? So that is that with that. Now, before we move to the next part of optimizing your LinkedIn profile, please and please, I want you guys to tell me, are you enjoying my section? Abi is already flying over. Let me know. Please.
Yes.
Are you guys following me?
Yes,
am I making any sense?
Yeah, making sense.
I need to know. All right.
Try to go a bit slower, please. You're very fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to take it a notch down. Okay. All right. So now let's go to optimizing your LinkedIn profile, right? Now, this one is what a lot of people find really hard. They're always like, okay, so how do I optimize the profile? I can't figure out LinkedIn. What is going on? LinkedIn is no hard. The only issue is just that you haven't been able to find someone that can put you through how LinkedIn works. LinkedIn is not hard. This is not even me trying to like, LinkedIn is not hard, okay? So when it comes to your LinkedIn profile, there are a few things that you need. Number one, you need an up-to-date resume. And that was why the first thing we talk about was resume before optimization, okay? You need an up-to-date resume. A professional headshot. If you are here and you're not a professional headshot, please go and take one. Honestly, go and take one. I mean, a lot of us in the new year now, we're already planning for 2027. You're saying, oh, I want to get invited to speaking engagement. When they invite you, is it your selfie? Is it that consultant that you want to put on the flyer? Fine boy and fine girl. You say you want to get speaking engagement next year, and you should be able to prepare yourself. Act like it's already here. They shouldn't be asking you for picture to add on flyer. You're putting a picture of your selfie. No, that is not professional. It's not demure. It's not mindful. Okay. You need to take a professional headshot. I mean, it's not necessarily that you must even be a content creator. It just makes sense. I mean, the opportunity that we're looking for, if you want to be up here on Forbes now, come on. Let's act like the blessings we're asking for is already here. Okay. So you need to have your up-to-date resume, a professional headshot, very, very important. And then maybe a project, certifications, maybe articles that you have written, okay, in case you want to recruit your profile. Now, when you have these things, how do you optimize your profile? So let me give you guys a quick definition of what LinkedIn optimization means. So LinkedIn optimization basically means optimizing your profile to help you achieve whatever goal you're looking to achieve on LinkedIn, right? Either you want to apply, you want to get a job, either you want to build your presence, either you just want to make it professional. That is the point. So what you're doing is you're putting out information there that whoever it is you're trying to target to that profile, maybe they're a job seeker, when they come to your profile, they're able to say, oh, okay, this is what this person does. This is their proven track record. This is why you should reach out to them and say, oh, we saw your profile, would like to have an interview with you. Right? If you're someone that wants to build your presence, the people that are trying to attract to your profile, you want to make sure that when they come there, they're able to get an idea of who you are and get convinced enough to want to hit the follow button or work with you. That's basically what optimizing your LinkedIn profile means. Okay. So let's pick it from the top. The first thing on LinkedIn is the LinkedIn bio. That is generally, I mean, every profile now, every social media profile now has a bio. Twitter, Facebook, right? Now, when it comes to your bio, right, you don't want to get it jam packed. Some people write like 15 job titles: digital marketing experts, crypto analyst, data clinical, content creator enthusiast, CapCut expert. There's just a lot of things. Now, it's not that knowing these things is bad. It's the fact that when people come to your profile, it seems confusing, like you don't know what you're doing. That's how exactly how it is like. So when you check my profile, my LinkedIn right now, you're not going to see me putting like, I mean, I work, I help people optimize their LinkedIn profile. I help them revamp their resume. I create videos and I edit videos. I work as an admin executive. You don't see me adding all of this to my profile. The only thing you're going to see there is just one thing that says, do you want to be testing about your parents on LinkedIn? Send me a DM. Simple. And then the keyword of this optimization, just there, just for searchability. That is all, just search optimization thingy. Right? So you want to make sure that you're able to decide on what exactly do you want to put at the forefront. Okay? If you are a digital marketing expert, right, just put it there. What exactly do you do as a digital marketing specialist or expert? What exactly do you do? Okay? Because digital marketing is wild. You must be able to narrow down what exactly it is that you do. If you're a visual assistant is wild. You can say, instead of just writing visual assistant, right? You can just say, I help you save 10 hours a week, very focused on important parts of the business. I help you save 10 or 12 hours a week so that you can focus on other important part of the business. Can you see now how direct it is rather than just using the generic visual assistant? So that's the point that I'm trying to make. So if you are, whatever it is that you do, you must be able to narrow down what exactly is the problem that you help your ideal audience solve. If you work as a social media manager, what exactly do you help them to do? What's the problem that you are solving? Once you're able to get that, you write in your belt and then you now write the job title for search engine optimization, basically. Okay? That's how you optimize your profile. Then this is where the headshots come in. Number 2. So you put your professional headshot, and then for your background banner, which is the one that is behind your profile photo, you can go to Canva and just find the template and put there. That's no problem. Now, the most important part of your link is your about section. Is the most important part, and that's like 3,000 characters, I think. Now, this part, a lot of people just go to AI again and just type, this is also summary for this is what I do, and then the whole thing sounds very, very stiff and bland. Using AI has never been a problem, but I feel like a lot of us, due to this emergence of AI, we are making whatever it is that we are creating lack the human touch, right? So if I'm reading your LinkedIn summary about section, I shouldn't be just, it shouldn't sound like I'm reading some kind of like financial reports or something. No. That's how it should be. I should be able to get an idea of exactly that. Oh, okay, what exactly does this person do? I help you save so hours a week. How exactly are you going to do that? How many people have you done it before? Why exactly do you even choose to be a visual assistant? Why do you choose that, okay, this is what I want to do? People want to get an idea of why exactly they want to work with you. So let me give you guys a quick rundown of what happened 3 days ago. So there's a particular creator that people know. I don't want to mention her name. A very popular creator on TikTok. And then she reached out to me. She said she's looking for, she posted on her LinkedIn rather, that she's looking for a LinkedIn trainer. So a lot of people mentioned me. And I sent a proposal. So now, I know that a lot of people that will apply for that thing, what they will just do is just go to their email and type, I saw your post on LinkedIn, so I'm applying. That's all. What did I do instead? I told her my origin story, because this is someone that has a community of people who are doing remote work. Remote work is something that has saved me as someone who didn't have a degree. So what did I do? I shared my origin story. I told her, this is what exactly how my story has been. How did I become a LinkedIn expert? I was a dropout. I realized that I needed a skill because I didn't see any future in whatever it is that I was doing at that time. And this is how it happened. And then immediately I sent that email. Within an hour, she was like, I love your proposal. and we jumped on a call within 15 minutes. And now I've become one of our LinkedIn trainer in our community. Again, let's not underestimate the power of story. Tell your story. Tell your professional story, your professional journey. That's what makes your about section unique. Not you just carrying something from AI and then pasting it there. Okay. Now, number 4, your experience section. So again, when it comes to your experience section, remember I already mentioned it in your resume what should be there. So whatever it is that is on your resume, you can just put it on your experience section. There's no issue with that. Then recommendation. So when you're looking to get recommendation is just like reference. It's a third party vouching for whatever it is that you have done. So you can reach out to your colleague, your team members, your previous bosses. Just ask them to please write your recommendation. So they're just saying, "Oh, I've worked with Ademola before, and he's good at what he does. He has a great work ethic." You might never know when these recommendations are going to come in handy. And this is what authorizing your LinkedIn profile entails. This is just me summarizing it, right? So that is optimization. Now, you have put together your CV. You have optimized your LinkedIn profile. You have applied for a job. Now, how do you prepare when you get called for interview? Okay. Now, when it comes to preparing for interview, a lot of people, see, the number one mistake you can ever do when you're looking for a job is not researching the company. Like, that's a very, very wrong mistake to make. Like, you are applying for a job, and then you see that you have an interview in the next 2 to 3 days, and then you get there, they're asking you, so what exactly do we do? And you're just looking. And you're looking. And you're like, okay, so you didn't check us. I'm like, oh, okay. That is like a very, very wrong move to take. When you're applying for a job, you need to go and research the company. Like, to the T. What exactly do they do? What exactly, how many, just familiarize yourself with certain things so that when you're answering questions, you don't look clueless. I think that's the word. You don't look clueless. Even the person that is interviewing you, go and check them on LinkedIn. Yeah, there's nothing bad to show them. And then my current boss, I check her on LinkedIn. I check her everywhere. I check that. I'll check even my colleagues when I join. I check everybody, right? Even though I have to block some of them because I don't like mixing my personal life with job. I'm sorry to say, right? But I always I get to check them to know that this person I want to work with. What kind of person are they? Even though social media content cannot give you a full introspective to who somebody is, but then you can get an idea. Do you understand? So research thoroughly. Then when it now comes to answering questions, a lot of us do not know how to answer questions. So someone is asking you that you apply for social media manager job, and they're asking you. So we are your boss is asking that, okay, let me give you an instance that we went to an event and then we took pictures, and I'm asking you this event is so and so thing. Come up with a caption. How do you come up with a caption? And then you're just looking. And I'm like, okay. And they are clueless because you don't know. You don't know exactly what to say. When I was interviewing my current job, I was asking because an event company, and then she said, so take an instance that we are launching a blog now, and we just produced an event, right? And then we want to create a blog on how this event went. How many? Give me 3, 4, 5 things that can come out of this particular event that we can post on our blog. And immediately I was able to come up with something because when it comes to content, my brain is always working. I came up with like 4 to 5 examples and I gave it to her, right? So these are ways employers gauge your what's it called, your capability. I think that's the word, right? So when you're answering questions, they're asking you, okay, so what if this happened? How do you solve it? Describe the context, okay? Explain your role. What did you do? What was the specific metrics that happened? That is how you prepare for an interview. Then number 3, if you are thinking, okay, maybe you want to be able to like gauge if you are really doing good and you're not so sure, you can reach out to your friends or look for tools or maybe AI to just have a mock interview with you. Then also, when it comes to the art of public speaking, I want to, if anybody is listening to me today, I need us to learn to understand the fact that public speaking is not only for those people that are popular. It's not just for content creators, neither is it for influencers. If you are listening to me, if you haven't taken a public speaking course, go and take one. Public speaking is something that you need in every area of your life. Even if you are working as a front desk person, even if your job is remote, you need to learn how to communicate with people in a manner that when they listen to you, they don't fall asleep. Do you understand? In a manner that your thoughts are put together. I think there was a time that I used to go to Twitter very well and listen to Twitter spaces. And then when some people ask questions, they know exactly what they want to say. Oh. They have, in fact, knowledge on what they are saying. But the problem is they lack public speaking skills. They do not know how to put together their thoughts. So it is scattered. And they are wondering, what is this person trying to say? Not that they don't know what to say, but they just don't understand how to put their thoughts together. So you must learn how to speak and communicate. It's very, very important. Then if you are doing a virtual interview, you already know how it is. Dress appropriately, because some people will tell you, open your camera. Like, during I did my interview, now my boss asked me to open my camera because she wanted to listen to how I'm talking, my reactions, my high movements. They want to check everything, right? Because it's a remote role, not a physical kind of thingy, right? So you must learn all of these things. It's very, very important. And check your tech. Hey, some people will go for events. I mean, they'll go for this thing, Jerry. They'll invite them for interview, and then they're forgetting the time. So I've interviewed people. I think my personal assistant when I was looking to I interviewed a lot of people. Some of them were like, "Oh, I've forgotten the time." Some of them will. There's some excuses that I found very, very things like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Okay, it's like you don't need this job." I know that these people don't need this job. It's that they lack all of this etiquette. They need the job, but they don't understand that these etiquette are part of the process of getting hired. So please do not be that person that fall into that trap. Okay. Now to the last section for today. Now, when it comes to negotiation, a lot of people just feel like when they're looking for a job, they just go, they say 200,000. Yeah. Sometimes the company can pay more than 200K. They can. But if you don't ask, you will not know. That's the truth. You will not know. Many companies can even pay 300,000 naira, but you will not know. Okay. So now when you're looking to negotiate your salary, that's why communities are important. Ask people in your community. I want to look for this job. Oh. This is the experience that I have. Oh. What is the normal salary that is going to be? There's some people today, social media manager, that are still collecting 30,000 naira a month. And I mean, people are going to pay them because those people, they don't have fear of God. Some people will pay you, they'll pay. There are people that they will still tell you they'll pay 30,000 naira for social media management. And then you wonder how? Just because the person doesn't know better. So you can go to Glassdoor. Glassdoor will tell you that social media manager are making $1,000. I mean, Glassdoor is not real life. It's not real life. You understand? But then you need to ask people around you so that they can give an idea of what exactly is the right salary to demand. And then you also have to also be honest with yourself. Some of us, we don't have that much experience. We'll be demanding for salary of 5 years experience. When in fact, the first you have is just 1 year. You know. But then because you are more concerned about the money, I mean, we all want to make money quite all right. But as a young person, you also need to consider the fact that you have to give yourself time to learn. Give yourself time to learn, okay? So it's very, very important. Ask people around. Factor also the location. Or if for instance, for my job now is hybrid. When I say hybrid, I work at an event company, so I don't go to office. The only time you see me go out of my house is when there are events. And apart from my salary, when I go for events, I get stipend. And that was actually something that I asked my boss. I was like, okay, apart from salary, do other stipends come in? So you also have to ask questions, no? See, when it comes to job interview, it's not just the company that you interview, you also have to interview the company. Ask them, this person, who was the last person that had this job? Why did they leave? Why did they leave? Because I know some companies, in fact, there's a company in this Nigeria, Lagos, that I know that every month they're always putting out a job vacancy for social media management. And even the country, we already know them. The way they see people who avoid them. Because they're like, okay, why is it that every month somebody's always leaving your social media team? Then there's a problem. So you have to open your eyes for these things. When ask people around your community, that community is important. Ask them around. And also apply for this. Some people they'll tell you, no, don't work for this company. Because some company they'll give you the good money, but they will stress you and they'll make you to pay for it. Okay, so you have to ask this question. Then when you're asking, you don't want to frame it as though you're demanding. You're like, oh, based on my experience, I was expecting that you guys are going to, pay me 300,000 naira for this role. Now, then also, you also have to consider what is the minimum amount that you cannot go beyond. So, like for instance, the company told you 200,000 naira on the job vacancy, and you are negotiating for 250, or the company tell you they can't go beyond 250, right? So you tell them, oh, okay, fine. You have to add your own particular amount that cannot go below. You must don't don't get choked up to the point where, because you're having a you not go and say it impulsively and say it's fine. Then by the time you not get there, you're not wondering, oh my god, I've already shoot myself in the leg. See, you see this job market world, it's dog eat dog go. So if you don't open your eye, they'll take advantage of you. And that's just how it is. It is what it is. So we have come to the end of this section, and this is a quick recap of what I've said. So I'm talking about resume, customize it to showcase your value, use metrics, very, very important. Use metrics, your achievements, rather than your duties, and make sure you're keeping it relevant. Your resume should not be more than 1 to 2 pages. Then for your LinkedIn is similar to your resume, but they are not the same, because you get to update your LinkedIn regularly rather than your resume. Your resume is just, if you have a job, you update it. Your LinkedIn is often you have a new job, you are started a new event, you can easily add it there. So treat it as such. Don't let it look bland or too stiff. Okay, when job, make sure that you're applying for. It's very, very important. If you're applying for a job, narrow it down. Oh, I'm applying for a social media manager job, so and so job. No, it's because it helps you save time rather than just applying aimlessly and then you're wondering, you're applying for 100 job, didn't get anything, because you are not clear on exactly on your strategy or the approach at which you are using, of which you are using to apply. That's the word. Okay. Then when it comes to interviews, be prepared. You to write list up as I asking you, be asking them questions so that they will know that you yourself you know what you're doing. Okay. Then negotiate. Learn to negotiate. Okay. It's good to be in know when you are being offered what is below your worth. Know it. Okay. And I think that is the end of this section. So thank you everybody for joining here. I would be any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna, for that amazing session. We learned a lot. I learned a lot. I'm sure Estelle and everyone else here did as well. So again, I'll be opening the floor to you guys. If you have any questions to ask, anything at all, just unmute your mic and ask. And if you're too shy, you can always use the chat option. Just click on the chat and then send your message. So like before, we're waiting for about 1 minute. If there are no questions, and I'll ask some of my own questions here. Right. So, Hannah, do you have questions for? Sorry, Fumi Adigun, rather. Do you have questions for us? Okay, I don't think so. Anyone? Well, you guys are good at assimilating things, so I just don't understand the good. All right, so I'll ask a question. Okay, Oyebola Ebenezer, you have a question. Please go ahead. I'll meet your mic and ask. Yeah, I'll meet your mic and ask, please.
Um,
Um, so can you hear him or her?
I'm not even. I just
Huh?
I
Okay, yeah,
wasn't
please go
hearing
ahead.
you
Speak.
like you're talking now.
Okay, Ovie, you can go ahead
Hi.
instead. Ovie.
So
Hi.
if I'm struggling to hear if you, so you can drop your question in the chat, right? So as to save time. So you can just drop it in the chat. I'm going to answer it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so while you guys should just type your questions and stuff. While you guys are doing that, let me just ask one question to keep things going. Um, so now, the thing is, a lot of us here are newbies, right? A lot of people here are newbies, and many of us have that much experience, right? So, how would you ask a newbie to create a CV? How would you recommend them to create their CV and things like that? What approach should they take if they have little to no experience?
Hmm. Okay, so when it comes to not having experience, right? I have been there before. So there are moments I didn't have anything to add to my resume, and what I had to do at that point was to go and get experience. That's the truth. You don't want your resume to be empty. You never want it to be. So what do you do? Excuse me. What you have to do is start reaching out to communities and volunteer. I mean, there are roles you can use to start your career. That even if it's 6 months, you can get to work there. It's going to help you part of your resume. That's the truth, right? Do little projects, reach out to people and tell them, oh, I want to work with your friend, even if it's just a 2 3 weeks project. Oh, there was an event that happened at your school or your department, and you are part of the people that organized and whatever. What exactly did you do? So after this, how many people were able to attend? What was the takeaway? It's part of the experience, right? So experience is not something that has to always be grand, right? So let me give you guys a very, very um practical example. So when I my first job was an internship job, right? And the funny thing was my first job that I actually got in my life. So here's the backstory. So that day I was in Lagos and I was just jobless. I didn't have any job. And then he just called me, was like, I saw you on Facebook. How are you doing? I was like, I'm fine. Oh. I said, well, me, I'm looking for a job. I just told him, just cheap dating. Like, I'm looking for a job. And I was like, are you sure? I said, yes. He said, put your CV together. I said, I don't know what to write there. There is no experience. It was like, fine, just send it to me. So what he did was he asked me that, have you ever worked anywhere before? I said, yes. When I was in school, I worked at an eatery. I think I worked for like social media manager for one Twitter news company for like maybe a month or two. I had a day. And then he said, you're an intern. It's not like maybe, yeah, when it comes to like certain internship, they are not expecting much from you. So you yourself don't try to overplay your role. They understand that you are still new. So when they look at the resume, it's everything that they are not expecting from you. So it's very, very okay. Right. So what I had in my resume, there was not, I think it was just two experience only. And then I took it to his office and then I went there. He asked me, okay, this is what you're going to be doing. This is your guy. So I was introduced to my boss, then who was my manager. It was at a solar company. So what I was doing is they have a solar institution there. They teach people how to install solar. So they said I was working with her whenever there is solar training. My job is to coordinate with the people that come for the training. So there's those I tell them, okay, this is your own. So if you need anything, I help them print out documents, their handouts, print out their ID card, and now this was all I did. Right at some point, they now moved me to admin. So now this experience was part of how I got this job because that was the only admin experience I actually had. Every other thing after that was just writing, LinkedIn influencer stuff. So that experience that I had, that I only had when I was writing on my resume, I just wrote admin. That was what I wrote. I just changed the job title to admin. Also, you also need to also learn how to track your resume to fit whatever it is that you're applying for. So let me give you, if you have worked at a place where you use the experience, you're selling to customer. Instead of customer service, so guys, instead of customer service, forget your Oyinbo. You are the one that know how you're going to package yourself. If you are working in a place where you're selling to customer, that that you work as a customer service representative. If you work in a place where what you did was undo records, it's part of data entry. You were taking inventory. That's part of the experience, right? Because we cannot always bank on everybody is going to have this large experience working 5 years or 13 years in the company. No. So whatever experience that you have, you just have to see, carry it and go and meet ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I'm applying for you as a customer service consultant. I work at a social place, and this was exactly what I did. It's going to bring up something for you, and then you check it. That's it. I'm not asking you to lie. I'm just asking you to package yourself better. Okay. So if you don't have the experience currently, what you can do is you can either use whatever it is that you have now to apply for a job, or you go and actually go and get the experience. Go out there, volunteer with people, ask to volunteer with them. There are people that they are actually looking for people that they are willing to teach. They are influencers, content creators, professionals that they're looking for people that they want to teach and owe to them. But the thing is, many of us young people, we just want to be an influencer street. This whole influencer pandemic is affecting a lot of us. We just want to be a content creator within a day in my life. Sorry, but that's not the reality of everybody. Many of us cannot do a day in my life. Come and follow me to do my no. Some of us we have to work in the traditional roles, okay? So if you don't have experience, go and start taking on projects. Reach out to people. And when it comes to reaching out to people, don't just go there and start acting as though maybe the job is like maybe they owe you. They don't owe you anything. That's the truth. Nobody owes you anything. This like what you have to do is go out there and prove yourself. They are worth giving something to. Nobody owes you anything. So you have to go there and ask them, hi, this is something I'm doing. I'm looking to get experience or something. And since you're an expert in this particular niche, I'm willing to work with you for like 2-3 months and just get an initial experience. And they'll be like, okay, fine. And then they'll take you. You never know. The thing is, if you also don't ask, you will not know. Nobody can come and meet you and say, oh yeah, come and work with me, let me teach you. No, you're not like going to meet them and ask them, I'm looking for slow experience and I'm looking to get this job. How can you help me? If you send what's it called to like 2, 3, 4, 5 people and tell them, oh, I'm looking to get this job and all of that, it doesn't matter how many no you get, you will still get your yes. Okay? So don't be scared of the rejection. Rejection is part of life. I mean, as a man or as a woman, I'll tell you I've told people that they didn't answer you. Didn't you persist? You persist. So why are you now? Why can't you put that energy into your professional life? So that's it. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, that was like the perfect answer to it. Volunteering is really, really important. And building projects on your own, right? So like you can just decide to do with a couple of friends and things like that, just to get actual working experience. Because yeah, it helps as well. Personal projects, things like this, they are very, very important. So thank you very, very much for that answer. I really, really like it, and I think everyone here must have gotten something. So Ovie, the other time you wanted to ask a question before my explanation. Do you still want to ask it? Ovie, are you here?
Um,
Okay, so I think I'm just going to move on to the next question I have. Right, so the question
Oh,
I
sorry,
have is
my
you
network
mentioned
phased out
okay,
at that point. Good afternoon,
no,
everyone.
good afternoon.
Sorry, are you hearing me?
Yes, please.
Hello, are you guys hearing me?
Yes, yes, yeah.
um, oh, okay. Network is good.
Hi, Ovie. We can hear you. We
Did you
can
guys
hear
get that?
you.
Sorry.
Yes, we can hear
No,
you.
we did
No,
not.
I
Can
think
you
the
type
network
it
went
through?
off.
Yeah, his network is having issues. If it's possible for you to type, so we don't have to take so much time.
Just have to get. Um,
Okay, Israel, can you maybe text him and have him tell you what his question is? He doesn't take
okay.
questions. Yeah. So while that is happening, I would ask one other question. So how do I know what to post on LinkedIn? Anna, because uh,
Wow.
I think
That is a question that I get every single time.
exactly.
Like I get
That
it
is,
a lot of time. And honestly, it's not that complicated though. It's not. So let me give again, because I've been here before. Now, when I told you guys that I joined LinkedIn, I mean 2020, when I was a dropout, I didn't have any experience. Nobody even thought to ask me, what are you even posting? The truth was that everybody, every single one of us has something to share. We all do. And it might seem like though you don't, but you do. There is something that somebody out there really, really wants. There's something that someone out there is really, really seeking. Don't ever for once think what you know is just something that is common knowledge. No, it's not, there's nothing that is common knowledge. There's somebody on YouTube that is teaching people how to boil egg. We will say boiling egg is something that is common. There's many of us here that cannot even make custard without it having lumps. I mean, there are many of us that cannot make pap without it having lumps. And one would think that making pap should be something everybody should know. So the first thing you need to do is first get rid of the fact that, oh, what I know is common knowledge. There's nothing that is common knowledge. There's somebody out there that need that what you know. So now, how exactly do you get to know what to post? So the first thing I want you to understand is, okay, what area exactly do you want to be posting about? Do you want to post about personal development as a young person? Probably you are still in school, right? That's what you want to do. Okay, so good. Aside that, is there any other industry that you are probably you are an enthusiast in? So let's say let's use Ademola for instance. So Ademola I don't know if Ademola is in school. Please correct me if you are not. So Ademola is in school and
Okay.
maybe he's studying law, and outside of law he's also a web developer. So now Ademola can go to LinkedIn and decide that okay, for 3 times a week, I'm going to be posting about my experience as a Nigerian student studying law in a Nigerian university. Right. So now, under this, there's a lot of topics we can talk about. Number one, what are the things that you have learned between your 100 level to the level that you are currently at? Maybe you're at 200 level or 300 level. Or maybe your 100 level self. What are the things that nobody told you when you wanted to gain admission into school that now you are willing to share with other people? There's somebody on here. I don't know if maybe any one of you should know. I think everybody here, if you actually you should know this person. Emmanuel Ducar started posting on LinkedIn when he was just in 200 or 300 level. And through LinkedIn, this guy does not even have a niche. He was just posting random stuff about himself, what he's currently doing with his life. And somehow he got the attention of Todeni Melu. And now the guy is getting sponsored trip to Paris, China, and everywhere. And that's just how it is. You don't need to be one kind of like expert, be one big person for anyone to post. So back to the example that I'm using. So Ademola could go ahead and say, oh, I want to be posting about my experience as a young person living in a Nigerian student schooling in a Nigerian university studying law. It being like studying law for you. In fact, if you input this and just put at ChatGPT, again, I'm going to invite ChatGPT because I feel like ChatGPT has made things easier for us all. I get at ChatGPT that, oh, I mean, just studying 300 level, and I want to be posting on LinkedIn about my experience as a Nigerian student and also learning web development. You will see tons of topics, and then you can just check it and post. Again, there's only something to put out. You just have to be able to sit down and put it in the work and decide that okay, oh, for this next 3 months, I'm going to be posting 3 times a week. Oh, let me research something I'm going to be posting about and let me schedule it on LinkedIn. So it doesn't matter how novice you are. Imagine me, no degree. I was 20. I didn't have any experience. So what exactly was I writing about? Just what I knew. The little knowledge that I have there. I mean, when I look at my writings, the way I used to write my post on LinkedIn, I become embarrassed by it. Because I'm like, what's this? But then it was my starting point. That was what, if I didn't go through that process, I would be here. So again, if you are listening to me, I want to start posting on LinkedIn. Number one, decide on what exactly do you want to be posting about. Oh, do you want to post about your student life? Do you want to post about your personal developmental life? About your faith? Decide, okay? I will not give you, current ideas will not fall from heaven. No. You have to sit down and do the work. Okay. And if I maybe this answer I gave you, you want more in depth on it, you can message me on LinkedIn after this call and then we'll discuss this further. But then I hope I've been able to answer the question. Okay. You don't have to do anything that grand. Just sit down and ask yourself, what do I want to be posting about? Is it about my experience? Where am I currently? Or what is even the thing that you know now that 3 years ago you didn't know? I can bet you that if you start listening that it will reach 20. That's enough content for you to put out. Okay, so that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, you can post about um, anything as long as it has value, right? Um, is that the point you're trying to make even at the end of it all?
So I didn't get that.
I said so basically you can post about anything as long as it has value.
Yes, honestly,
Yeah.
and value itself is relative. Value itself is relative. There are people that go on. I mean, I've seen shoemakers. I've seen someone who is a cleaner. Again, see, let us first get rid of the fact that LinkedIn has to be for people that have multiple degrees or some people that are like one kind of uptight professional person. Mm-mm. As long as you're able to comport yourself in a professional manner, whatever it is that you have there, go ahead and post it. Don't be that person that the only time you post on LinkedIn is when you finally get this first class degree. The earlier you start now, the better for you. And that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that question. I really, really, I mean, for that answer, rather. I learned a lot from what you said. So here type this question. It said, do you have any idea how to get mentorship in our respective related fields and how to survive in a community? Because it has not been easy for him, rather. And I think these questions, I would like both Afiz and Olayinka to answer it, right? So, which one of you wants to go first? Basically, he's asking how to get mentorship in his field and surviving in the community, or the ecosystem, basically, wherever he is. So who
Hi.
wants to go first?
So the role of surviving in a community is contribution. I hope you're getting that. Okay. The way to survive in a community is contribution. You cannot go into a community and not contribute and expect to get value there. Does that make any sense? So if you are joining, I have like 3, 4, 5. I have feminist community that I'm in. I have digital marketing community that I'm in. I have women community. I have the one that makes mixed communities, right? I have some that are for maybe living on a budget in Lagos. But so these communities, when you go there, you don't just go there and just expect that the next thing, bam, and you want to expect that people are supposed to just start reaching out to you. You don't comment. Nobody's going to look after you. The goal is when you join, contribute as much as you can. That is the only thing you can do. When you contribute, you get seen. When you get seen, that is when people will not start reaching out to you. That is it. I have community that if I go there now and say, guys, I'm looking for something, or who's going to, if I have a community that I already told them I'm quitting my job in November, and then they're already asking me, which job are you looking for next? Let us be sending you job vacancy. From now, so that doesn't happen by chance. It happens by months of me coming to for people. Even in that group, they were telling me something that I think 2 months ago.
Hannah, we lost you. Hannah, are you still here?
Can you guys hear me? Or am I lost?
Yes. We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So I told the person, I said, you guys should not worry. Let's open a accountability group. By every Sunday, I'll come check in with you guys. Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rather. I'll also check on you guys to know that you guys are posted. Drop your post in this group. I'll be reviewing it, and I try my best to do that. So now, if I'm doing that for that kind of people, do you think those kind of people when I need them will not come through for me? Again, we need to learn the power of symbiotic relationship. If you are struggling to survive in a community, I can bet you that spend a month or 2 months and just helping people. Nobody come and say, "Oh, I'm looking for this thing." You drop a link. I can't look at how many times I've gone to events that somebody is telling me, "Sienna, I know you. We are in the same community together." I don't know many of them, but because they see my comments, many people don't comment in communities. They don't say anything, but they know you. And when opportunity comes, they will remember you because you are active. So you cannot just go to community and say that nobody is talking to me. You talk to people now. I mean, it's not like you are Tedola or DJ Kupi. You're not a popular person. So you need to go out there, contribute honestly. That's the word. Contribute honestly. Now, when it comes to mentorship, some of you, you don't need mentorship yet. And I also feel like a lot of us used to hide under mentorship because you're looking for people that are going to spoon feed us. That's the problem. Mentorship is good, but I need you to first ask yourself. Let's do a quick what's it called? A quick self exam and ask yourself. So for this long years that you haven't had mentorship, what have you done? How many courses have you taken? How many events have you attended? How many courses have you taken? How many videos have you even watched? Because if you are looking for a mentor is not there to tell you what to do. A mentor is there to ask you, what do you want to do? And they're giving you advice based on what you want to do, on their own experience. So if you're telling them, I want to grow a career in social Web3, kiniko. So they're asking you, okay, Web3, which part of Web3? And then because they're an expert, they're saying, okay, Web3 is what you want to do. This is an option, or these are options. Then you get to decide on your own. They're not imposing on you. So again, a lot of people think mentorship means somebody will be telling you, don't want to tell you what to do. It's you that will still decide. But what you're getting from them is the guidance. So, but before you go ahead and say you're looking for a mentor, ask yourself on your own, what have you been able to do? Because if on your own you cannot do anything, best believe with a mentor you will not do anything. Because your mentor will not be running after you to go and take a course or watch a 3-hour course. They will not tell you. Their own is they are giving you that, okay, you say you want to take on this course for the next 3 months, let's reconvene again. So imagine that you're not sitting back next to them and you're telling them, you do not have light in our house. So do you think they're going to take you serious? So you need to first be intentional about your own life. So that by the time you're reaching out to a mentor, they are like, this person is definitely someone I want to work. My current mentor that I have, I reached out to him, just a random person on it. I didn't even know him. I just saw it. I was like, let me reach out to this person. I was like, sorry, I'm looking for mentorship. And I asked him, I said, how much do you charge? Don't believe I didn't have money. I didn't have to buy. I don't have money right now. But I was like, I need this mentorship. And then he said, send me an official email. So I sent him an official email. This is what I've done. And I was like, that was like maybe 2022 or something. He was like, that is quite impressive. So even I mentioned now when we don't talk, it's like I don't even understand this your mentee again. No? Because it trusts in me that even if we are not talking 3 months, he knows I get things done. That is me. So a mentor or no mentor does not make any difference in my life. Do you understand? So the whole idea of this mentorship is not bad, okay? But you need to ask yourself, do you need mentorship or you're looking for someone that's going to spoon feed you? You're looking for someone that's going to spoon feed you, then that means you need to go and work on your own self-resilience, your confidence, your consistency, and you being able to say you will do something and do it and follow up on your own words. Mentors are out there everywhere. When you find one, you can always reach out to them and ask them, I want you to be my mentor. But they are going to ask you their own track record. And you don't want to go there and start looking clueless. Okay? I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Yes, you have. You have. That was really, really elaborate and comprehensive. Afiz, do you want to add anything to what she has said?
No, I think she has answered it perfectly. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So that's pretty much it in terms of questions I have. Only other thing I would ask is, Hannah, if you have any resume templates or Afiz as well that you can share, so you can share with the participants after the call, we very, very much appreciate that. Right. So thank you very much, you guys, for being on this call. Thank you very much for your time, for everything you shared so far. It has been really, really nice, enlightening. We learned a whole lot. I did, and I'm sure everyone else here did. So I really, really appreciate you. So the next thing we want to do right now is just to appreciate a couple of students, right? Some of the students here, they've been really, really exceptional throughout the 9 weeks of the boot camp, right? They've been showing up for classes, they've been completing assignments, building projects, and all of that. I would just like to appreciate them, just to spotlight them and all of that. So I'll be handing over to Isel to do that right about now. So Isel, please, you can have the floor.
All right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me fine? My voice will this blood out. Can you
Yeah, we
hear me?
can hear you.
Okay, nice. So, like Ademola said, basically, well, let's say a shout out to our award for the best performing student from each track. Yeah, so, like how you do it in school, how they do it in school and things like that. So, um, from each track, we just call out the names of students that we feel like they perform the best, being active, attending classes, doing assignments, and whatnot. So, maybe if like you hear a name, you can just clap maybe in the chat, just make some noise. Then we'll, we'll send their awards via like via your email, like after the call. But in the meantime, we just clear the names and the track while here. So I'll start with the machine learning track. So for the machine learning track, the DGS for that track is Olamide Soyebo. I hope I pronounced the name well. Yeah. So Olamide, that is DGS for the track.
Congratulations on having this.
Yeah. Then for the data analysis track, we have Ademola Oluwadaisi. And not something, so Ademola
Okay.
Oluwadaisi for the data analysis track. Then for cloud computing with AWS, um, we have one of our previous state of the week, Oluwabukumi Akinyi. That's for the AWS track, Bukumi Akinyi. Then for the cyber security track, we have Izikaya, like Oditola Olawale Izikaya. but about security track. I think I was there when they did the project defense. It was pretty nice. So we all done. Then for React, no, we have OVA Umunose. But if I didn't more than you mean, we have OVA for the React track. Congratulations on what you did. Yeah, then
Congratulations on you.
for the backend track, with Node.js, we have Akinbayo Clinton. Yeah, the one of our plus friends. Then
Congratulations. Okay.
smart development, that is solidity. Our Mercury boys. We have Uchi Rural. That's quite easy. Then for backend development, we have Vincent Onyenaike. I think that is what the names I have for the track. So congrats to all of you. Then we'll be having one project showcase. So we'll have one of them just come up to just give us a rundown of his project. Like I had all the tracks, they're all doing a project. So that would be what allow me from the machine learning track. So why the concept and share the screen? I also mentioned that he and the student from UWA, so Ramide and Clinton, they both got an internship. So that is a nice one, by the way. So big congrats to both of you. So Madam, do you mind just sharing your screen? I don't know, but just give us a rundown of what you worked on for your project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nervous.
Sorry?
Good afternoon. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
yeah, you fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, I'm coming.
All right. Yeah, so what Olamide is sharing his screen to present his projects. I just want to say, everybody that was mentioned, you guys were really exceptional during the boot camp, and we really appreciate your effort because it's one thing to, organize the boot camp, and it's another thing to have people who join and finish until the end. We know a lot of people did not complete the boot camp, so it's really nice seeing you guys. Yeah. And for every other person who completed the boot camp, right, it doesn't mean that your efforts were not recognized and all of that. But as always, there's always someone who is that exceptional, right? You were exceptional in your way as well. So congratulations to everyone for completing the boot camp. Really, we really appreciate your efforts. So Olamide, please go ahead with your projects. Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm here to just basically walk through the project, which is, can you see my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay, which is the spaceship Titanic. This is basically just predicting the number of the passengers that were. Yeah, let me just tell you the backstory. It's a spaceship transporting passengers from one planet to another, but along the way they experienced an anomaly that made some passengers to be transported to an entirely different dimension. So we're trying to predict those that were transported and those that were not. So we're giving our training data and our testing data. For me to understand the data, I have to load it and understand it, which is what I did here. So what I did here, loading my data, I understood the columns were given, the category, the features were given, then I had to start understanding my data, which is the types of data we're given and everything. Then I start cleaning my data, which involves checking the missing values, which is what I did there for the training data and for the testing data. Then I started my analysis, which started with checking in my training data, I have the transported, which involves those that were transported and those that were not, which involves the which that's what it involves, and I have to depict a pie graph or whatever pie chart, yes, pie chart to check the percentage of people that are transported and those that were not. I cross-checked the age and the transported, that is the age of people transported and the number of people in that age group that were transported, which is what I did there. Then I analyzed it into a histogram here, which is what you are seeing here. I did the same thing for different other features like the home planet, which is this. I did that for the cryo sleep also, the destination as well, the VIP as well. This is just basically to understand the entire data to know where I'm going to. focused on my modeling. Then after that, I started my data pre-processing, which involves formatting the different categories that I need. For example, yeah, I started with my ID. The ID was divided into the group part and the member part. I had to separate that to use that for my modeling, and which is what I did there. And I also visualized that into bar charts. I also did that for my cabin, which was separated into deck, number, and side. I had to separate each side to use for my modeling. I did that and also visualize them into bar charts. I also formatted the age group of people from, let's say, from 0 to 12 here now. I did that. I separated them into age group for easier analysis to avoid noise and everything. So, and I also visualize them into bar charts, and also I did that for total expenditure, the number of the total expenditure spent by each passenger and everything, which led me to my data modeling. Yes, my data modeling, I separated them into different other features. Feature encoding, which involves us transforming the categorical data into um, numerical data, which is why I did there. For the feature scaling, it involves scaling all the features we have into equal scale to make them model to make them easy to model. Yes, that's the word. Then, which is I did my model building. I did a function to get the required the required features I need from the models. Then I called my different models. I used 3 different models, which are the random forest, the logistic regression, and the KN neighbors classifier. Then after that, I had to compare which was the best. From here, from here, in my testing score, from here, it shows that random forest was the best. Although it's at 79%, it's not the best, but for my first project, I had to leave it like that. And I did that. I visualized into an Instagram. Then I used the stacking model. This stacking model basically just combines the 3 that I used into one and helps us to predict. Basically, I called it and I used it to predict my final data here. Although the accuracy is still at 79%, it's still my first project anyway. So, and that's what I used for my prediction, basically. So thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. I'm done.
That is actually very nice, very good. So well done, Madam Ian. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's
Thank
really
you.
very good. Okay, so
Yeah,
moving on. Thank you.
thank you very much, Olamide, for that, for your presentation. I, I mean, I was understanding the flow of how you were explaining and all of that. Kind of like that the problem statement was a bit fun and all of that. So I just
Mm.
wanted to ask a question, right? There was a part where you were using the expenditure, you were cleaning the data and all of that. Like, what
Yeah.
was the importance of cleaning the data of their expenditure, basically? What was the importance? Because, the problem still is to find who was lost and who was not lost. Is there a significant importance for the expenditure add
Okay.
in that data?
Okay. Thank you for that. In data analysis, from my knowledge, there is not you don't know what you can use yet. So you have to visualize what you can visualize, because at the end of the day, if you submit this, you don't know what your client is actually trying to see. So that's why I had to visualize it first to know if I can use it or not. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah, okay, okay. Thank you very much. That's a really nice answer. Thank you. So I'll be handing over back to Issa now. Issa, please.
Okay, so back to me. Yeah. So up next we'll be having is
Your mic is muted.
oh, thank you. Okay, thank you for that. So back to me. So up next we'll be playing a quick game of cows. Yeah. So in a minute I'll share my screen and then you can join me and we'll get down to it. So while I'm sharing my screen, you can get your cows app ready or just go to the website now. Give me a few seconds. Let me. open this up. Okay. Okay. I think I'm up now. So I'll be sharing my screen now.
You guys should engage in the Kahoot too. Instead wants to give you money.
We're gonna have meeting. Let me just share my screen. I think I'm having more. Okay. Okay. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, nice. Let me move this, so I'm guessing that you are all familiar with how to look at this one. If you were here for our onboarding session, then you should be familiar with this. Let me just drop this in the chat. Not, I will go on the group chat actually. You can quickly get the link on the group chat on WhatsApp. Yeah, I think that would be easier. That's it for me.
So what did you say, SM?
I just shared the link to join on WhatsApp. Like, so please
Oh,
just put the link here for me in the chat.
okay, no problem. I've not seen the link yet. No.
Check the bootcamp channel.
Yeah, that's why I'm right now. Can you send it to me personally?
Okay.
Okay, I'll send it.
Okay, so have a good go.
Mm,
So have to still join. You can join. Okay.
Okay,
Ah,
so I'm sharing the link now to the chat on this place here.
so wait 1 more minute, then start again. Yeah, so
Oh, Tosin, yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining. Yeah, we really, really appreciate you. See you another time.
can we start now? Or is anyone still trying to join?
Sorry, please. Can you hear me?
I heard you.
Okay, sorry, please. I don't know what is about to happen. Oh, hey, my network went out for a moment, and then I came online and said that we should join a particular game app. Please, I just need little explanation.
Okay, I'm playing a quick game called Cow. So I shared the link on the bootcamp channel. The
The
link
link
is
is
in the chat as well. If you just click on the link, then take it to Cow, to the website, so that you can just
I
play the
already joined. I'm legend,
okay, and then just
but I don't know the rules. I don't know if there are rules or anything that I should know.
okay, the rules are put there on my screen and on your phone. So when we start, if you click on my screen, then you put the data on your phone. Then just to answer guys based on how many how many you get correctly and how long you take to answer the question. That's pretty much it. I think we'll be starting now. Starting now. So let's start. So question 1. more interesting. Like, they all look like they're the same. I don't know. You have to get. You have to get. I don't know. Okay, I have only one correct answer for this round. So it's as is not manual and it's not active. Yeah. And who's on top? Who is super? Yeah, I've banned from playing this game. So next round, um, just based on what we discussed today. So if you're listening, you should be able to answer this very easily. Unless you are speaking during the call, you know something. When you guys speaking during the call, when I see you mentioned Angular like 95 times when I was talking. Yeah, so in fact, this is a backend framework to start with. This is the backend. So don't just say that front end framework for like this. This is the backend. So this is completely wrong. But this is the answer Angular. Now, so let's see how we rank. We have legend. Okay. Now the next question. Okay, that was literally easy. Yes. So I think like we should all have gotten this correctly. So legend, oh okay. The next question, kinds of interview. So which of these are so which of this is not a kind of interview, so it should be not so that all kind of interview. So which of them is not kind of interview? Which is yeah, so this the all kind of interview. I think I still mentioned three of them, so but this is not part of them at all. Yeah. So there's nothing like manual interview session. There's no a thing. Okay, so you have this guy is legend and like that's the ministry true element. Okay. And like you said it's a split number. Yeah, so if you like the number that is mentioned, they're looking for you, if not your number. And so specific percentage that is mentioned on the call. So how many percent for your apply? That's 50%. So that's what you mentioned. 50%. So you don't need to renew everything so you can actually answer it correctly. As we have a team with that board, so we have foul in first place, then Agent and Ayoban. So let's go on to the next question. We are cooking some more things up. How often should you upskill? So once a year, biannually, as often as you can, or when after having to use skill. Love to you. Love to you.
That's not fair, Arsenal fans, man. That's not fair, man.
It's not my fault. Who chose the Arsenal ban that option? Yes, to show that
I believe in my people. I believe in Arsenal, so I chose them for the culture.
You believe in me, my brother.
Yo, go and rest.
Believe in me. So okay, yes. So Paoli and Ayobami. Okay. Let's keep them. During the negotiation, humility is virtue. Um, Don't know. Should this be a virtue? Is it supposed to be? Or should you be proud? Don't know. Let's think. No, yeah, so it should not be a virtue. You should be proud. You should not don't lie so much, but you have to be proud if you broke during your negotiation. So that is what you pick up. So the next thing, yes, there is thing. So legend is first is power and then ram. Okay. So question is, so how do you answer this question really? So how do you answer it? Do you try to add it or do you just say that it's not like in a regular thing? So generally speaking. Yeah, so generally speaking, it should not be good to share much when you're negotiating. To have legend power and your family. Okay, still pretty much the same. Okay. So next question. What is the name of the second speaker? I'm sorry, but I have to make it stop. I have to make it stop. Sorry. The main difference is just the initial. Yeah. So if you start talking, then you are not. If not, the game of work. Yeah, so starting cat T Anna, not H or I or H. Okay. So next question. When you guys still in the league? Okay. Now what should you not use? Yeah. What should you not use? What should you not use? To be fair, I think my first resume I designed, I used Canva, so I don't catch it. But that was like 4 years ago now, so I was still a baby. But now I'm on the Google Docs stream now. But I did not design it with Canva because of the ATS scanning and whatnot. Okay, why would you be taught this? Let me see. Next question. So in what order should you put out your experiences? So let's say if you worked out for 360, so what order should you write it down? When I'm using it, how can I use the most to hold this? Or just use the audio form first, or just one of them ready by so should be most system for nearest first because I mostly care about where you are right now, like what is nearest to where you are now. So for most parts, like don't really check what you are doing 4 or 5 years ago, but that is relevant to what you are right now. So let's see another body. There's a change again. You have learning test place. I think if people are just in positions at this point. Okay, so the next question. Which of these is a proper email address? So like when you're applying for all these jobs for different things, like what sort of email address should you put out? So assume that the name is Matthew much. What should you like try to use as your email address for the most part? Yeah. It, is it why we okay see personal speaking if I start a job post and I see that people is betting money in the list of people I've said like I'll just go at this that room, I'm sure. Because this is a joke. This is a joke. So yeah, try to make it like some niche or can just add it match you get too much. It just but it should look like it's your actual name. This doesn't make sense for the most part. So that is for that. Let's see the scoreboard. Very thing. Okay. So next, so what format should you save your resume? Is it as a Word document? Is that as a JPEG, PNG, PDF, MKV, MP4, MP3? Like what format should you save it as? Like so when you're applying for the job, what resume format do you send your resume? Yeah, so I beg you, name of whatever you say or whatever you don't say, please send your resume in PDF format in that because if you send it in Word document, you know that Word has different versions. So if I open it, if I'm using Microsoft for 2019, I'm using Microsoft for 2013. Just to show my different community to show because of different thing and also because of how big or small my own screen is. So just to be on the safe side, always apply for jobs or anything of documents in the PDF format. So it's always the exact thing that you want it to look like on their own end. I think that's the key of that. Yes, okay. The thing is complete. You guys still are in by 5 from this time. Let's go to the next question. Question of 17. Did you get home or can you see your Snapchat off because you want to pass? Love to you. Mm, okay. So yeah, my approximate of friends is that so there's barely anything in the top position. So another true or false. It's pretty straightforward. This is more the fastest to answer than anything else. That's pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Wow, it's still on change. Who is this lamp person? Ah, let's let us do it small. Let us do it small. This question, today is a classical. If no is good for you, start it because winner. If you know my club, but I don't see my club, all of you know my club right now. And so this is bonus question. So all you should know my club right now. Very clear. Very, very clear. This is bonus answer.
You guys should choose Barcelona.
Hmm. Anyway,
Ala Madrid.
thank you. So Madrid anyway, see if you see many ways, just shout at Madrid and I will answer you. So for today's game, please 8 p.m. Put on your Madrid jersey and just chant and watch us win today as usual as I've won for the past 4 games. Um, so let's check the leaderboard. I still don't change the money. Now the power of the next question. I think yeah the last question. So this is what makes or break the leaderboard. And very funny question, which we should all know, Sha. Very funny question. We should all know. So if you put it in anything, we'll just explore you at this point. Very simple, very straightforward. Anyway, so let's do that mistake, but yeah, it's not student, it's not student, it's not Microsoft ambassador. Next. So now we see the full leaderboard. Then we know our actual winner for today's count. So who's in third place? Let's see. Ayobami. Okay. Second place, Legend. Then first place, Spotlight, Lazlam. So that was pretty close.
So
Yeah.
you guys should spell your full name in this Microsoft Teams chat address so we can identify you.
Yeah. So please, just on your phone or like where you play the game, just take a screenshot of what you want as actually doing or just send it to me. No, yeah, no. So that you know that it's actually really good.
Yeah.
In terms of your my second. So Demola, over to you.
Yeah, so thank you very much everyone for joining in. This is basically the end. Yeah, wrapping it all up. So for the winners of the package, you guys should send a message to yourself and we'll sort you guys out. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you guys had a swell time. Thank you very much to the speakers for coming. We really enjoyed your sessions and it was very, very insightful and enlightening. Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much, MLSA UNILAG, for the bootcamp, for the opportunity. Thank you very much to the teachers team. Thank you very much, Estelle, and thank you very much, Adimola, for being here. Right. Yeah. So have a nice day, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Bye.
Okay, goodbye everyone, and thank you all for joining. Like, thank you all for joining. So have a great day. Have a
Thank
good
you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much, Alfie, as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Emeka. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye.